Sorry, here we go. Hello, welcome into CPBL English Watch Along. I am Daniel Shi, and today is week 5 of the CPBL season. Well, week 4, but this is our 5th edition because we started our edition. We started our Watch Along in game 1, which was on Sunday. We'll be bringing you the action between the Wei-Chuan Dragons and the Fubon Guardians. The game will start at about 2 p.m. local time, which is about 2 a.m. Eastern time, and 11 p.m. Pacific time. And yeah, I'll be watching. Okay, so this game will be available on Twitch for on Momo Sports, Momo_sports. But I am watching this. I'll be watching on CPBL TV because for me, Twitch will have very untimely ads, commercial breaks in the middle. Hook 'em. But they will be showing like untimely commercials that would just screw everything up. So I'll be using CPBL TV. The feed will be a lot slower than yours if you're using Twitch. And plus, with the delay from my computer to yours, there will be a further delay. So I recommend you pause the feed a little bit if you can to allow me to catch up. But other than that, there's nothing really much I can do. Before we go even further, let's recap the last game that each team has played. Now, for the Wei-Chuan Dragons, their game was on Friday versus the Rakuten Monkeys, and the Fubon Guardians played their last game yesterday on Saturday, also against the Rakuten Monkeys. So I'll start with the Wei-Chuan Dragons recap. The Wei-Chuan Dragons and the Rakuten Monkeys come back to Taipei for Game 3 of this 3-game series. We start the highlights in the top of the 3rd inning. Man on first and second, center fielder Chen Chengwei with the line drive to opposite field, and it goes all the way to the wall. That drives in DH Liao Jianfu, and the Monkeys grab a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 3rd inning. Bottom of the 6th, now 2-0 to score. Man on second, catcher Chen Haowei with the line drive up the middle. That brings in third baseman Liu Jihong. He beats out the throw at home plate, and the Dragons cut the lead down to 2-1. Bottom of the 7th inning, man out first and second, and pinch hitter Zhang Youming goes to opposite field, and that bounces for a base hit, and that brings in pinch hitter Shi Xiangyu, and the Dragons tie this game up at the 7th inning. We head into extras, and the top of the 11th, first baseman Chen Juxiu starts to rally with a single to left field, so the go-ahead run is on base. Base is loaded now, 2 outs. Right fielder Zhen Zhihao with the high fly ball to center field, and that drops in the warning track. That's an extra base hit. That brings in all 3 runners on base. It's a bases clearing double, and the Monkeys grab a 5-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the inning. Su Junzhang on the mound, and he gets the ground ball to third. Ling Li with the scoop throws to first for the final out of the game. The Monkeys sweep the Dragons with the score 5-2. Tomorrow the Monkeys will visit Xingzhuang at the Fubon Guardians. The game will start at 5 p.m. local time. The Rakuten Monkeys and the Fubon Guardians face off in this 1-game series here in Xingzhuang. We start the highlights in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Men on second and third, and right fielder Sheng Haowei punches one through the shortstop for a base hit. That drives in Li Yichen from third. Guardians grab a quick 1-0 lead, but the Monkeys answer right away. 2-1 the score. Catcher Lin Hongyu launches that one to left field. Bye-bye baseball. It's a 3-run home run, and the Rakuten Monkeys grab a 4-3 lead. Lin Hongyu launches his first home run on the season, and the Monkeys overturn the deficit here in the 3rd inning. But we head to the top of the 6th now. They're piling on 4-3 the score now. Lin Hongyu One more time. He goes to left field. And that one is gone. Bye. Baseball. Great catch by the fan. And the Rakuten Monkeys extend the lead to 6-3. It's the 11th multi-home run night for Lin Hongyu as well in the CPBL. Bottom of the 6th inning, 6-3. The score man on second and third. Catcher Lin Yong-in for the Fubon Guardians launches one to left. And that one bounces at the warning track. That's an extra base hit. Both runners in scoring position will come in to score. Lin Yong-in safe at third base. It's a 2-run triple. The Guardians cut the lead down to 6-5. And his third baseman Xin Yunxu shoots a fly ball to right field. That brings in Lin Yong-in from third. The Fubon Guardians tied this game up here in the 6th inning with a score 6-6. Bottom of the 10th, now we're in extra innings. Man on second, and left fielder Gao Guoling with a line drive to center field. Chen Kailun had to make sure it's a base hit, so he only goes to third base, but we had the go-ahead run 90 feet away. The Monkeys will intentionally walk the next batter, and it's rookie Zhuang Wei, and making his debut in the CPBL, shooting a line drive to center field, and the Fubon Guardians walk up the Rakuten Monkeys, scoring 4 unanswered run, and Zhuang Wei becomes the first man in the CPBL to have a walk-off hit in their CPBL debut. The Fubon Guardians win this one with the score 7-6. Tomorrow, the Fubon Guardians will stay in Xinzhuang to host the Weichuan Dragons. The game will start at 5 p.m. local time. Both teams coming into this game after a walk-off or late extra inning game. Welcome in once again to all of those who just joined us. I am your watch-along buddy, Daniel Shi, and this is an unofficial English watch-along providing audio commentary of the game between the Fubon Guardians and the Weichuan Dragons. I am watching the feed. I'll be giving you the commentary based on the feed on CPBL TV. If you're watching this game on Twitch, or if you're in Taiwan, you're watching on cable or MOD, you will be ahead of me. Not only on the game, like from the video side, but from me to you, there's also a lag from my computer to yours. So I will be behind. The commentary will be behind. If you wanted to able to sync it up right now, pause the feed a little bit. If you're on Twitch, on cable, I don't think there's a way to do that. There's nothing much I can do about the lag. That being said, I will be I'll be giving you a radio style commentary because I'm not sure, and I can't guarantee everybody that's watching or listening to this have the video feed. So this will be more of a radio style commentary with a lot of my very unprofessional opinions and stuff like that going on as well. Right now we are the CPPL feed is showing the guest the Fubon Guardians brought in. It is the winning team of a dance-off that the Fubon Corps had hosted, and it is, I believe it's like a family theme day, pet event, family/kids day at the Fubon Guardians home stadium, which is Xinzhuang Baseball Stadium. So that we have some special promotions, events going on. If you are on Twitch, if you are listening to this watch along on Twitter, if you want to comment, you have to go into Periscope. Oh, actually, I don't think Periscope exists anymore. So I'm not sure how you make. I don't know if you can make comments on Twitter anymore. If you are on Twitter, you are able to comment. Please leave a comment. Let me know because I really don't know right now. If you're on YouTube, also there's a comment section on the right side of your screen. Please, if you're on the computer, if you are on your phone, again, there's a comment section. Please interact with me. It will make my job a little bit easier, and we'll have a lot more fun if I can interact with you. If you're watching this on replay, on YouTube, you won't be able to see the live comments, but what I will try to do is read the comments. There's a way for me to show it on screen as well. So I'll be doing that so you guys kind of know what we're talking about, so you won't feel kind of left out. But if you're watching on replay, thank you so much for making that extra effort as well, for syncing the feed from yours to mine. And they're still doing the interview. I should plug my earphones in it. Monitor. My monitor. So I can hear what's going on. The Fubon Guardians are coming in to this contest. As you can tell, I'm trying to trying to extend what I'm trying to say. The Fubon Guardians coming into this game, leading the CPBL in standings. They're tied at number 1 with the CTBC Brothers at 11-8. The Rakuten Monkeys are third, 9-8. Lions 9-9. The Wei-Chun Dragons are last. They're 6-13. The Dragons are 5 games behind the leaders in the CPBL. The Guardians against the Wei-Chun Dragons are 1-2. They've only played 3 games. The 3 games were in Tianmu when the Wei-Chun Dragons were home, and the Dragons were able to win both games there. I believe that was last weekend. I think so, because last weekend we covered the Shiroshi game. Let me think. Last week. No, it was 2 weeks before. That was 2 weeks before today. And that was basically the last stretch in which the Wei-Chun Dragons were relatively more competitive. Ever since then, they kind of they kind of hit a wall and have been struggling in the CPBL. Especially last weekend at Tainan, they were swept by the Uni Lions. Was thrown a no hitter, lost the first game by 13, lost the second game by 7, lost the third by 12. So ugly games in Tainan last week. This week they're also 1-3. My apologies. They're 1-3 this week, but after being swept by the Rakuten Monkeys. Interesting series. The 3-game series between the Monkeys and the Dragons. 2 games were in Jiayi, the first 2 games, and then the last game was in Tianmu. But the Monkeys won all 3 nonetheless. So the Dragons are coming in with a 6-13 record. But as you may know, the Wei-Chun Dragons are an expansion team. So they're younger. They're a little bit more experienced than the other teams. Ye Junzhang, the manager for the Wei-Chun Dragons, actually before the season, I think the end of last season or earlier this season, before the season started even, he just said they're aiming to compete by 2023. So 3 years after they come back, they return to the CPBL. They hope that they could compete for a championship. So on the managerial expectation side, stuff like that, we're probably not going to expect them to be among the favorites to win. But they're still, I still believe they're a very fun team to watch. On the offensive side, they don't rely on the long ball. They try to stretch the extra 90 feet as much as they can. Their bullpen, despite some mishaps in the last couple of weeks, their bullpen is still very strong. Their bullpen, I think, is ranked 2nd in ERA among the 5 teams. So their bullpen is actually really good, and with good starting pitching. Right now, their rotation is missing Wang Weizhong, right? The number 1 pick of the 2020 draft, and the former Pirate athletic brewer. And recently, we've seen Drew Gagnon, which is their 3rd foreign starter. So before Wednesday, we haven't seen all 3 of their rotations. So right now, the Dragons' rotation is much more complete. And their bullpen is coming back. And now the hitting side is a little bit, they're struggling a little bit. But again, like Michael said, that the Dragons are doing pretty well until this 1-4-6 skid. So it should be an interesting game here between the Fubon Guardians and the Wei-Chun Dragons. So we're going to look over the Weichuan Dragons lineup. Leading off is second baseman Li Kaiwei, batting second Zheng Taorong, the right fielder, batting third Liu Jihong, the third baseman, Rosel Herrera, the DH today, and also cleaning up, batting cleanup. Batting fifth is Chen Pingjie, center fielder. Batting sixth, Jiang Shaohong, playing catcher. Zhang Youming will be the left fielder, batting seventh. Batting eighth is Zhu Xiangling, the first baseman. And batting ninth is Shi Xiangyu, the shortstop. The Guardians' defensive alignment, starting with the pitcher, is Jiang Guohao, who's making his season debut today. Behind the plate is catcher Lin Youying. From first to shortstop is Fan Guochen, Zhuang Weien, Chen Kailun, and Li Zongxian. Left outfield from left to right is Gao Guolin, Lin Zhexuan, and Sheng Haowei. Zhuang Weien, the second baseman for the Fubon Guardians, is an interesting topic to talk about today. He made a CPBL debut yesterday, and against the Rakuten Monkeys, he was subbed in, and in the middle of the game, and actually had the walk-off base hit. We started the game with a strike by Jiang Guohao against Li Kaiwei. Second pitch is fouled to third baseline. Zhuang Weien, the starting second baseman of the Fubon Guardians today, had a walk-off hit in his CPBL debut. Now he became the first player to ever do that. So actually that's quite impressive. The young man. Jiang Guohao on the mound for the Fubon Guardians. He's his first start in 2021. He was in the future series for adjustment. That one is popped up to right field. Sheng Haowei makes the catch, and that is out number one in this game. Back to Jiang Guohao. He was left in the future series squad for a little bit longer after spring training to make more adjustments and get into a game form a little bit more. Last year he had a pretty good second half of the season. Overall, that one is popped up to center field, line drive actually. But Lin Zhexuan makes the catch. He took a couple steps back, but still made the out. Good contact by Zheng Taorong, but out nonetheless. So coming up will be third baseman Liu Jihong. Now back to Jiang Guohao. Let's see if I can get this over with. Get this through before the inning's over. Last year he was 9-8. Overall, he had a 5.12 ERA, pitched 110 innings, 110.2 innings. That one is pitch outside ball 1, so the count is 1-1. Last year, he pitched a lot against the brother. Swing and a miss, fastball inside up high, strike 2. Between in the second half, all but 3 starts were against the CTPC brothers. Sorry, that is not true. All but 1 start was against the CTPC brothers. So he was really the brother specialist. I believe one game, that one is grounded to third base side. I believe one game was kind of let me double check. Yeah, one game with 4.2 innings. I think that must have been some sort of a makeup game afterwards that ruled him as a reliever. That one's popped up to foul territory. Lin Youying makes the catch. So 3 up, 3 down for Jiang Guohao. Good start for him in this season as we head to the bottom of the inning. Score 0-0. All right, let's try to get Jiang Guohao's part over. So Jiang Guohao last season was actually, again, really decent. He finished the season quite well. His ERA actually, his ERA starting from the mid-season break to the end of the season was steadily coming down. After each start, the ERA has been coming down. So a really nice finish to the season. Again, pitched a lot of games against the CTBC brothers. Last year in August of last year, Zhang Guohao pitched in 3 games, ERA of 3.8. September, ERA 2.5, and October ERA of 3.27. And again, compared that to the season overall, which is like 5.12. It was in pretty good form last year, especially at the end of this season. All right, let's take a look at the Fubon Guardians lineup. Starting off is shortstop Li Zhongxian, batting second Zhang Weien, and batting third Lin Yichen, the DH. Batting fourth, the cleanup is left fielder Gao Guoling. Batting fifth, Fan Guochen, the first baseman. Batting sixth, Sheng Haowei, the right fielder. Batting seventh, Lin Zhexuan, the center fielder. Batting eighth is the catcher Lin Youying, and batting ninth, Chen Kailun, the third baseman. Hold on. The Weichuan Dragons defensive alignment. My brain kind of blacked out a little bit. Jake Bream on the mound for the Weichuan Dragons. Jiang Shaohong will be behind the plate catching his pitches from first to third. First to short actually. Is Zhu Xiangling, Li Kaiwei, Liu Jihong, and Shi Xiangyu. And the outfield from left to right is Zhang Youming, Chen Pingjie, and Zheng Taorong. First pitch by Jake Bream is a ball up high. So he's 1-0. Li Zhongxian's batting .247 on the season. I missed the rest of the graphic. That one's grounded to the third base side. Jake Bream has pitched in 3 games so far in the CPPL. He has pitched 1 game. One of them were against the Fubon Guardians. That one is driven to the first base side, foul. That game he pitched. Oh, sorry. Bream has pitched in 4 games. My mistake. The last game against the Fubon Guardians, he pitched 5.2 innings. He took the win in that game, giving up no earned runs. So he was in good form in that game. That was grounded to short and throws to first. Li Zhongxian almost beat out the throw. That looks really close. Shi Xiangyu for the Dragons on that play. Li Zhongxian, I think, was looking at the dugout to see if they will challenge it, but doesn't look like manager Hong Yizhong will use the challenge on the first play of the bottom of the first inning. Yeah, it looks like the throw did get Li Zhongxian at first, but that was much closer than one would expect. At the plate is the hero of last night, Zhang Weien. He's the second baseman playing second base today. The line drive, he came in the 10th inning with bases loaded, nobody out, and the Monkeys actually brought in center fielder Chen Chengwei to play as the 5th infielder, but Zhang Weien just sailed the ball above everybody in the infield, has a line drive to center, and that was the walk-off hit. That one was looks like a 2-seamer that got Zhang Weien to swing and miss. So the count is now 1-2. And that one is grounded to opposite field, but fielded by the Dragons. Throw to first base. Out number 2. Second baseman, Li Kaiwei. I need to be a little better at identifying the Dragons just by looking at the players' body language. I think I can do that quite well with the other 4 teams, but in terms of the Dragons. And I need to be more familiar with them. Now at the plate is DH Lin Yichen, who had a little bit of an incident yesterday during the Monkeys game. That one is grounded up the middle, and Shi Xiangyu with the stop throws to first base. So 3 up, 3 down for Jake Bream in this inning, and we head to the top of the second. No run scored, and so the score remains 0-0. Leach had a weird play at first base yesterday. He made contact with the runner when so it was a grounder, and the throw was coming to first, and Leach kind of. I was a little bit off, and Nietzsche had to go a little bit far to get it, but that caused his wrist and his left arm to be kind of on the base path. So he made contact with the runner, and after the contact, he kind of kneeled down and looked uncomfortable. Looked to be in an uncomfortable state. That's a weird way to say it, really. And then he got taken out of the ball game. But it's good to see him back in this game, starting the game as the batting third and as the DH. So it's good to see him back. My brain is kind of all over the place right now, which is not good because he's only the first inning. According to CPBL stats on Twitter, the Recruited Monkeys have demoted Dylan Overton, one of their foreign pitchers, largely working out of the bullpen so far this season, to the future series squad. They promoted Deck McGuire, who will be expected to start games for the Monkeys. Overton so far this season posted a 6.14 ERA, 1.91 WHIP over 7.1 innings pitched. Is the stream working on Periscope? Okay, yeah, it is. Coming up to the plate to start the second inning is Rosel Herrera. He's been struggling a little bit at the plate during the drag skid. He was hitting as high as 400 before hitting the skid, and the last time I checked, Rosel Herrera is now hitting 269. So in terms of the batting average, it's taken a little bit of a dip, he hasn't been slugging a ton either. That one is just foul at the third base side. Two weeks ago, when the Dragons were on a roll, Rosel Herrera at once. Jiang Zhixian. Yeah, we'll talk about Jiang Zhixian a little bit later. That one is fouled to the first base side. Tozaboma, you're Andy, right, on Twitter? I'll talk about that. I'll talk about him a little bit later. But in terms of Rosel Herrera, I remember 2 weeks ago he had a 1 week where he homered. He's a switch hitter, so he homered on the right side and the left side. He homered off the batting right first and then batting left. Anyways, during the second home run, that was at Taoyuan Baseball Stadium, and the Mandarin commentator at the time, that one is a line drive up the middle. So first base hit of the game for both teams. Rosel Herrera got himself a base hit. Ooh, sorry about that. Kind of knocked the microphone a little bit. His first base hit since April 8th, which was Thursday. It's nice to see him picking up a little bit. He had 2 hits in the last 3 games. So that's, in terms of that, it's not that great. But it's nice to see Rosel Herrera hitting a little bit better nowadays. Now at the plate is center fielder Chen Pingjie. Now you're watching the Fubon Guardians dancing to Chen Pingjie's cheering song, playing the Chen Pingjie's cheering song. That is because Chen Pingjie was that last year or the year before? I think it was last year, yeah. Chen Pingjie was drafted during the expansion draft by the Witch and Dragons. He was a Fubon Guardian and was picked by the Witch and Dragons during the expansion draft. So, and he's a very well-liked player. And the Fubon Guardians fans doing a great job welcoming him back to Xinzhuang Baseball Stadium. That one is grounded past the first baseman. That's another base hit. Let's see if Rosel Herrera goes to third. He stays at second base. So men on first and second now with nobody out. Dragons had a little bit of better contact so far this inning. Well, that one's a ground. That was a line drive / grounder to first. Which not Lin Yizhen. That's not Lin Yizhen. First, Guo had to stay at first for the pickoff. He was in a bad position to fill that one. There is a chance. I think there would have been a chance if for Fan Guozhen to catch it if he was in his normal position. But so far this inning, we've seen Zhang Guohao leaving more pitches on the plate, over the plate, leaving pitches over the plate, and the Dragons so far has been having good contact. Now, I was informed last week by Amber, who's been following along with the watch along as well for the last couple of weeks. I was informed that my power is really strong. I have the power to jinx anybody. So I think the fact that I was talking about Zhang Guohao struggling a little bit so far this inning, he might get out of this one with a triple play or just get out of this unscathed. Or maybe now I kind of jinxed myself. So what's going to happen now? It'll be interesting to see which side of the power works better. That one's bunted to the first base side. Fan Guozhen goes to first base. So the bunt is successful, moving the runners to scoring position. So men on second and third with one out, Zhang Youming, Zhu Xianglin, and Shi Xiangyu now coming up to play. What do y'all think? Because apparently I have the power to jinx anybody, and I was talking bad about. I was trashing Zhang Guohao a little bit in the Fubon Guardians, but then I kind of just jinxed myself by mentioning that in my so that one is grounded to second base. And Zhang Wei-en with the stop, that he was playing half in. Rosel Herrera does not score. That was a great play by Zhang Wei-en. And just like that, the Guardians are one out away from getting out of this unscathed. That was probably one of the the infield was playing in. A fly ball would have drove a run home. A line drive would probably drive two. But that was probably one of the worst scenarios for the Dragons. Now against first baseman Zhu Xianglin, Zhang Guohao is one out away from getting out of this. This man out, nobody out, man out first and second jam. Zhang Guohao now at 25 pitches. That one is grounded to third, and great stop by the Fubon Guardians third baseman. That is Chen Kailun. Great play, and the Dragons do not score. So I did successfully jinx the Dragons. No runs scored, 2 of 2 hits, a sac bunt, and 2 groundouts. All at bats were quite economical. The Dragons are really aggressive at the plate, and so Zhang Guohao still at 26 pitches, despite despite struggling a little bit in the second inning, but no runs scored nonetheless. And so now we head to the bottom of the inning, 0-0. Jiang Zhixian. So, all right, I remember seeing Jiang Zhixian has been demoted to future series because of the injury. It doesn't say. Oh, it's what is it? What is it called? 挫伤，左肩挫伤，不止休10天。It's basically hurt his left shoulder while falling down. He tripped on the bag, fell down, and just landed awkwardly, and hurt his left shoulder. So he was demoted to the future series squad, and according to manager Hong Yizhong in the news articles, that he'll be out for more than a couple of weeks. Thank you, Sean, saying that I did a great job jinxing the football, jinxing the Dragons. That's wait, hold on. So last week I did the Guardians game. They won. Dragons game. Oh, I need to see whether how the Guardians are doing when I'm commentating the games. But yeah, Jiang Zhixian will be out for a couple of weeks, maybe more. Hurt his left shoulder. The Guardians. Hold up. Did I do 3? I think I did more than. I did a lot of Fubon Guardians games. The first pitch by Briam against left fielder Gao Guoling is a strike, breaking ball going into the zone. Second pitch is heater up in the zone at the letters. They're at least 2-0, maybe 3-0 when I commentate the Guardians games. That one is grounded to short, but Shi Xiangyu was very far from second base as part of the defensive shift. So that is the first base hit for the Fubon Guardians after a 3-up, 3-down inning in the past. Pretty sure it's at least 3. Yeah, so I know I did. I forgot about. Because I'm looking at it, like week 1, we did the opening day, right? Week 2, I'm pretty sure. So in week 2, it was Brothers Lions and Guardians Monkeys. I'm pretty sure we didn't do the Brothers Lions one because, like, I remember like kind of feeling relieved that I don't have to like cover the same matchup again. So I guess we did the Monkeys and Guardians matchup. I just kind of forgot about it. I forgot that I did it. I do remember doing the Shiroshi game. It was also Guardians and Wage and Dragons. And then last week, it was Guardians and Monkeys. That one is ball inside part of the plate versus first baseman Fan Guochen. Now the count's 2-0. And yeah, all 3 of the games that I covered featuring the Fubon Guardians are 3-0. Oh, that's the game. No, yeah, Fan Guochen's song is my favorite. Yep, it is my favorite. Shiroshi and Sosa was not the same game because the Shiroshi game was by Manny Banuelos. Like, so I covered 2 straight Manny Banuelos games. So yeah. Now I remember it's the Sosa game. Now that makes sense. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, 2-2. I haven't seen a lot of Fan Guochen this season. This is his debut as well, this season debut. Last year he had 283, 5 homers, and 32 RBI. He played in 91 games. That one is a pop fly to second or shortstop. Shi Xiangyu makes the catch. Out number 1. Yeah, but yeah, Fan Guozhen's song is my favorite among the Guardians. I don't know why. It just finds me. It's just fun. Yeah, that makes sense. Sean Kramer saying that Fan Guochen got called up because Lin Yichen can't play the field, but yeah, no, we're just that may be the reason. We're not sure. Can't really, because I don't think they. Yeah, Fan Guochen can play first base, even though on recreation, Fan Guochen isn't the best defensive player. That one is a line drive to left field, and that will be a base hit. Gargoling stops at second. So, excuse me, Jesus. Right fielder Sheng Haowei with the base hit. And now the Guardians have men in scoring position again as well. So the Dragons started last inning with nobody out, man on first and second. The Guardians answer with now man on first and second with 1 out. The Dragons did not score last inning. Let's see if the Guardians capitalize. Yeah, great piece of hitting by Sheng Haowei. Now coming up is a pretty stacked lineup. Lin Zhexuan, Lin Youing, and Chen Kailun. So the most popular, most well-known CPBL player in the world, probably besides the foreign players, but still, the Lin Zhexuan is now at the plate. He's hitting 197. But yeah, I think he might be the most well-known domestic player in the CPBL around the world. And I've told my Lin Zhexuan simp story a couple weeks ago, but and also the great play he did at center field last season that made the CPBL go viral one more time in the year of 2020. 1-0-1 to count. That one's popped up, and Chen Pingjie makes the catch, and Gao Guoling does not advance, so unproductive out there. Dragons are again 1 out away from getting out of this unscathed. It's like the same script written for both sides in the second. But the Guardians do have an experienced hitter at the plate. I need to make sure I jinx both sides. Like, knowing that I have the power, I need to make I'm just making sure I jinx both sides here. Lin Youing hitting 349 on the season, so good numbers. That one is a strike, but throw goes to first. The catcher tries to pick off the runner on first base, but it goes to right field. So all the runners advance. That was by catcher Jiang Shaohong. The throw was a little bit offline and definitely made it a lot less catchable for the first baseman. And Zhu Xiangling was off the back too, and the ball was thrown in a location that would make Zhu Xiangling to go opposite direction of where he was coming from. So second and third now. Same as last half inning. Off-speed pitch down low. Yeah, but with one swing of the bat, a line drive would score 2. A line drive that bounces would score 2. A high fly ball outside, going out of this ballpark would score 3. A wild pitch will score 1. A pass ball will score 1. But Jake Bream still economical in terms of the pitch count. 24 pitches. Grabbing 5 outs. Strike 2. That one is at the knees. Lin Youing does not agree with the call. Kind of just disappointed with that call too. Yeah, that from the side, it looks like a strike crossing his knees. Two now, 2 outs. Men on second and third, bottom of the second inning. Swing and a miss. No run scored in this one. I jinxed it again. No run scored in this one after 2 base hits and an error by the catcher, allowing the runners to advance to second and third. But the Guardians do not score, and we head to the top of the 3rd inning. Nothing. Kids Cam on CPBL TV. If you're watching on Twitch, I think you get the Taiwanese ads, which actually I like Taiwanese. I miss them. I don't think I like them, but I do miss them. I sometimes don't get American ads. But somehow American ads have good reputation in Taiwan. I have no idea. So Michael was referring to the rumor about Jake Bream is only on monthly contracts. So if he gets picked up by the KBO, he could go back. I don't know. I didn't ask. And nobody I know would know. So, but hopefully they wait until the half season, so the Wage and Dragons at least have him for a full half season. And especially this year, because when you bring in a foreign pitcher or foreign player, you have to be in quarantine. And after quarantine, so it's like a 2-week, blank slate, no workouts, no training, and then 1 week of, self-isolation kind of thing where you're not supposed to be in large crowds. And then you have to get back to training. You have to get back to game shape. So like at least 1 month after the player arrives in Taiwan. That is not even counting the visa, the flight, and all of the paperwork. So, if I'm the Wage and Dragons, well, that one is to start the 3rd inning. Shi Xiangyu, the shortstop, starts with the line drive up the middle. That's a base hit. Leadoff single once again for the Wage and Dragons. Yeah, so I actually, if you look at how the Fubon Guardians are stacking foreign players, the brothers just signed 2 more foreign pitchers, and Ismael Rogers that just arrived in Taiwan as well for the brothers. And then the Monkeys have 5 as well. The Lions have 4. They're the Lions have the 4 allotted registered foreign players. The Dragons have 5, but also they get 1 more foreign player than others. So the Lions and the Dragons haven't been stacking up the players. Definitely not as much as the brothers and the Fubon Guardians. And in 2021, that seems to be the right way to do it. Again, because of the quarantine, because of everything that's happening. Yeah. Now at the plate for the Dragons is second baseman Lee Kai-wei. He did try to lay out a bunt. Lee Kai-wei in the first inning flew out to right field. Led off the first inning, obviously, as the leadoff hitter. Lin Youing setting up a pitch very far outside, probably wary of the bunt. So the count's at 2-1. if any of y'all are watching the other game, Brothers Lions, that one swing and a miss. Runner goes on the pitch and thrown out by Lin Youying. It was a hit by pitch called, and a swing and a miss there. And Shi Xiangyu also does not reach second base safely. So that leadoff single is nullified. 1 out, nobody on. If any of you are watching the other game, like give me like a quick update on that one. I'm curious to see how the Lions and the Brothers are doing. That one is a line drive to right center field. That's a base hit, and it goes all the way to the wall. Li Kaiwei will try to go to third base, and he is safe as he narrowly beats out the throw, and that's a triple for Li Kaiwei. Now you got to wonder what would have happened if they didn't call that hit and run in the last pitch. That is the first triple in the entire week for the Raging Dragons. 8th extra base hit. They played 4 games. They're 1-3, so 8th extra base hit in 4 and 3 innings so far. Yeah, the Dragons lack a little bit of power overall compared to the other teams. Last week, they're only slugging 274. So, they hit 214 and they're slugging 274. So they haven't been getting on base a ton, and when they are, they haven't been having extra base hits a ton. Zheng Taorong at the plate, he watches a strike go by very low in the zone, crossing the knees, and Zheng Taorong was not happy with that one either. Looks like the Brothers and the Lions have a pretty good one going on. 2-1 count. That one is a line drive to center field. And that will be an RBI single as Zheng Taorong drives in the first run of the game. The Dragons grab a 1-0 lead. End of the first? It's been 40 minutes. Oh, 2-1. Okay. I didn't see the score. Now seeing the score makes a little bit of sense. But still, end of first. Well, I don't want to jinx it because there's still a lot of baseball being played. But I'm happy with y'all's decision so far. Zheng Taorong sending a fastball down Broadway back up the middle, basically. It went a little bit to the right field side of things, but yeah, a strong line drive back up the middle. And especially with the infield playing in, the infielders have no shot at it. So Dragons up 1-0. Third baseman Liu Jihong now at the plate. That one is a blooper to first, foul. It looked like the Xinzhuang in Taipei. Did it rain earlier today? Because it looked like the field was a little bit wet. The crew had to add a little bit more dry dirt to the field. So but right now the weather looks very, very nice. I was wondering if, or maybe I don't know. Maybe the screen. Thank you, Urban, for the update. Pickoff moved to first base once again. Zheng Taorong has 14 stolen bases in his career, but 12 of them was during the 2017 season. That one is a pop fly to center field. Lin Zhexuan against the sun makes the catch. I was well struck and it went pretty far, but probably 10 feet from the wall. Caught by 林哲轩. Yeah, Lin Zhexuan had to go back a little bit. Basically, at warning track is what? Warning track is 6 feet, 9 feet, or maybe it's just 3 feet. But it was at the edge of the warning track. Well, so Herrera now at the plate. He's 1 for 1. He had a single in the second inning that started the rally. That one's a pop up to center field, and Lin Zhexuan against the sun makes the catch, and that is it for the top of the third. Dragons grab a 1-0 lead with the RBI single by Zheng Taorong, driving in Li Kaiwei from third, who had a triple. 3 hits, but 1 caught stealing and 2 flyouts to center field. 1 run scored, then we head to the bottom of the third, and the score is 1-0. Coming up for the Fubon Guardians will be the 9-1-2 hitters Chen Kailun, Li Zongxian, and Zhuang Weien. 5 feet, okay. Michael informing me that the track warning track is 5 feet. That is such a, like, you can tell, like, in a lot of measurements, you can tell, like, who. 15 feet. 15 feet? 5 meters. Oh, shoot, really? That is warning track, like the width? Huh. 15 feet. Interesting. I was about to say, like, 5 feet is such a... I was about to say, like, 5 feet would be, like, such an American measurement, because it just doesn't convert well to the metric system. Because 3 feet is about a meter, right? I think 3 feet... No, 3 feet is 0.9 of a meter. But, like, you can tell... But it's kind of... I don't... But it's also, like, why are ballparks... I guess center field is normally 400 feet, so that would be 400, 300 on the sides. Yeah, I guess that's American as, like, quite American as well. They're just, you know, like, you ask a measurement, and then they give you, doesn't matter which one they give you in, especially like sports measurements, dimensions. You can tell immediately, like, oh, is it invented? Where is it invented? Is it invented, like, in America or not in America? Bottom of the third inning. I mean, I think the way I said it sort of made it very obvious. Like, it was like the like, just like, why are you telling me this? But, like, if somebody tells you, like, oh, something's 8 feet, you know, like that's probably American, like, because 8 feet doesn't translate well to the metric system. But, like, if they go, oh, something is 15 feet, you like, there's a decent, well, 15 is kind of weird. If somebody said something's 12 feet, you can go, okay, then maybe somebody outside America invented it, because it would be like 4 meters, which is, like, on the dot, or like 5, you know. That one is a line drive to right field. Chen Kailun gets a base hit in his first at bat, and the leadoff hitter is on base here in the third. Same script as the last half inning. The Weijin Dragons also had their 9th hole hitter getting on base with a single. 6 foot is 6 inches. Like, why? Like, why the extra 6 inches? And the funniest, well, because inches don't convert well with feet, right? So like on a measuring tape, like on the metric system side, like, it's obviously like 100 centimeters is 1 meter and stuff like that. That one is first pitch, ball outside against shortstop Li Zongxian. But, like, on the other side, like the what y'all call the freedom measurement side, it's like You have the top one at the top that's in feet, one at the top, one on the bottom that says inches, because those are not compatible. Like, why would you have these? It just why? Like yards and feet convert well, right? 3 feet is a yard because a yard is 0.9 of a meter and feet is 0.3 of a meter. And I'm guessing yards and miles convert relatively well. Is not as well as the metric system, but like relatively well. But like, what is inches? Like, why inches? And also, 3 feet 3. Yeah. I just kind of just divide by 3. Like, I just kind of do like 3 feet is a meter just for like this, just for 3 foot and 3 inches. So 1 inch. 3 feet 3 inches is a meter. So is 1 inch like 3 centimeters or something? But no, like I thought 1 inch is like 2.1 centimeters or something like that. Like converting centimeters to inches, I just times it by 2 and add a little bit at the end. Like add a little bit. From feet to meters, I just times it by 3 or like divided by 3 and then like make adjustments there. Yards, I just do the same, like meters, yards, whatever. 2-0 to count. That one's a foul ball to the first base side. Yeah, like yards and meters, I just count, like use it as the same thing. But yards and I could technically just look these things up, but I prefer I prefer a little bit more interaction with my viewers. But yeah, yards and miles work a little bit better. That one is a grounded third base, and it does not get picked up cleanly by Liu Jihong. So men on first and second with no outs. Let's see if let's see how they ruled. I think that there is a good argument for both. Forgot to update the score on the graphic too. When did the UK change it to the metric system? Which, by the way, if you somehow have the power to change the metric, changing the measurements, like the system that the American use, even the people who invented the English system decided to change it to the better one, to the just a better one. So I don't know, if the guys who invented it decided that the other one is better, then maybe it is time to abandon it. As the previous play was ruled in E5, but still, men on first and second with nobody out nonetheless. Zhang Wei-En at the play. He's 0-1. He's laying down the bunt. First pitch is up high, breaking ball. It looks like a breaking ball, probably like a 2-seamer. No, but 1 out. Okay, I don't like if it's been used for this long. 1965. Wow. Yeah, it doesn't seem that long ago, but also Andy said that it was in the mid 90s. And also, like, let me know if you are actually Andy. I kind of like, I remember seeing breaking ball down. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the English system or the imperial system or the Roman system, whatever. Like, I'm glad that it worked and it was unified for like a good amount of time. And if it was used for that long, yeah, like if it was used for that long, like clearly there are merits to it, and I'm not debating the merits of it. But if there's a better one that came along, that just the conversion is super easy, super straightforward, and like 90% of the world is using it. Strike one on a 2-0 count. And when like 90% of the world is using it, and even the guys, I guess the English then technically didn't invent it because of his Romans, but like even like the country that named the thing as the English system, even if they changed it, then it's time for the most powerful country in the world to change it as well. I did read somewhere that America trying to change it, but nobody really enforced it, so like they kind of went back. But still, swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. I really should be focusing on the game. A breaking ball that got the young hitter Zhang Wei-en to chase. It was on a 2-1 count too, so more of a hitter's count, and Zhang Wei-en is probably looking for something straighter. Yeah, I think I've spent way too much time on the rant. That one's fouled to the first base side, a breaking ball up in the zone. In the first inning, Zhang Wei-en grounded to second base. The scientific community did. And also like I tip my head to the scientific community because they have to like do both. Like I do a decent job. Like I know like know how to convert it decently, but like for the scientific community, they have to know it like the exact measurements of them. That one is grounded to third base. Liu Jihong throws to second, and they do not get Zhang Wei-en at first base. So 1 out taken. Fielder's choice. Yu Zongxing out at second. And Chen Kelun F. So the Fubon Guardians will challenge the plate at second base. They believe that that Li Zongxing was safe. Measurements in Taiwan. Baseball. They're in English, like they're in the imperial system because that's how baseball fields are measured. Like it's like 90 feet bases, 60 feet and 6 inches, stuff like that. So baseball field wise, like it's more referred in. They're also like referred to in the English system. But in terms of like common, just the common sense stuff, the daily life things, the metrics, we use the metric system as we should. I mean, and yeah, okay, credit to the American scientific community. Like they probably grew up learning the imperial system and then had to convert sometime in their lives, and then they have to do it like precisely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like traditional, like for example, like and in golf, they measure everything in yards. Like respect that. Like fine. Like in golf in Asia, they measure everything in yards, and like I think those would be the last ones to go. Those will be the last one to like be forgotten. But in terms of day to day, like what are odds? Like okay, another thing. Okay, I bake at times. Like I make brownies. Real brownies, not the ones that you're thinking. I make brownies and cookies at times, and like I guess because baking is an American thing or something. Like all the measurements are in cups and like spoons, and like okay, so like I didn't research on this. I didn't do any research on this, but the cups and spoons, those were measured in ounces, right? And stuff like that. So it's not the hardest thing in the world because British baking's in grams. Okay. Yeah, but like it's not the hardest thing in the world because you can like just get those measurement cups and like in those measurement stuff. Like it's not the worst thing in the world. Oh, cooking in yeah, in freedom units. Yeah. I gave up. I see. Well, again, I bought those measurement cups and stuff like that, so like it doesn't affect me that much. When I see like 4 cups of cream or something, I just take the cup out and I measure it. But yeah, like what are cups and spoons? Like what are those? Like what are those? Like, like, and even the rationale of having like in terms of like had the rationale had like measure things in feet like back in that like when we were like living in caves. I understand that, right? But then because like those are like nature, like natural stuff like foot and stuff like, but cups and spoons you literally make them and you make them in different sizes and you just chose one, a random one, and go like this is a cup and this is a spoon and there's a tablespoon and a teaspoon. I know exactly. Michael says, how many teaspoons? Tablespoon. God only knows. That is so good. DH Leach and at the plate now. The challenge at second base was confirmed. So Li Zhongxian is out. Man on the corners with nobody out. That one is a pull outside. For those of you who are coming in to listen to a commentary on a baseball game, I truly apologize as this has turned into a rant on the metric on the English system, English measuring system. For the best baking results, that one is popped up to foul territory behind the plate, so the count is 1-1. For the best baking results, weighing your ingredients will give you the most consistent result, most often in grams. Yeah, that's also the one thing. Yeah, like where you pour the thing, like especially like flour or like sugar, right? You pour the thing in the cup, but like you're supposed to make it full, but then like every single time, like literally every single time, you're like, oh wait, like is it supposed to be like this full? Like does it have to be like you have to like is there supposed to be a little mountain or like is it supposed to like flatten out? Even if you flatten out, like is it supposed to be like are you supposed to like make sure that like it's firm, especially in the case of flour? Like do you have to like push things and then like make sure that it's flattened out like firmly, like like it's like the most in a cup or like yeah. So in that case, I agree with I guess that's true. Like the most accurate way of measuring baking, especially baking ingredients, will be in grams because doesn't matter how much you doesn't matter what kind of thing you use to measure it. As long as like 100 grams is 100 grams in a bigger cup or a small cup. Same way that it's and when you use the cups and the spoons, you really run into like a similar situation of like it's 5 pounds of feather more heavy than 5 pounds of iron. That one is a line drive to right field. That's an extra base hit as it goes all the way to the wall. Chen Kailun scores from third base and Zhang Wei stays at third. It's an RBI double and Li Yichen has tied this game up. And yes, there is a baseball game going on. We got second and third now with one out. Coming up to the plate is a 4-5-6. Briam was trapped in a less advantageous count, more of a hitter's count, and Li Yichen shoots a really strong line drive to right field. Zhang Wei, rounding third, was looking to score, but stopped by the third base coach, and he had to slide to stop himself. Pitching pitching coach visits the mound for the Wager Dragons. Gao Guoling at the plate now. He started the rally in the second inning with a base hit. And, hot hitters coming up. Gao Guoling, Sheng Haowei, who's hitting 2 spots after Gao Guoling, also had a base hit. Yeah, but it's always it's always lovely to see what subject we go into that's not baseball related every week. And I always forget, and the best thing is, I don't even remember what subject we did last week. That base hit went 325 feet or 99.6. Yeah, that is correct. And that's the one thing. Okay, man, now second and third, that one is a breaking ball up high. Briam's losing. His command has been off a little bit more, especially with his breaking balls in the third. Oh yes, true. Oh, we also did the Chinese literature, martial arts literature. That was fun. But yeah, in Japan, they list it. I'm not in Japan in some cases. Definitely in Canada, right? They had the feet on top in terms of the wall measurements, how far it is from home plate. So on the left and right field poles, that one is grounded to foul territory at the third base side. On the left and third right field poles, it was 320 feet or something, and then under that it will have 100 meters. I was like, dang, that's a pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that center field somehow based on the metric system was actually a pretty cool whole number, 325, which is 100 meters more or less. That's a line drive to center field, and that drops for a base hit. Zhang Wei scores. Lin Yichun stays at third. It's an RBI single. Guardian grab a. Gao Guoling's now 2 for 2 today. Yeah, somebody. Oh, I thought it was you, Mike. I thought that was you. I guess. Gao Guoling, the last 2 games. Well, I can tell you what he did in last week. Gao Guoling had 4 base hits in the last 4 games coming into this one. So right now he has 6 base hits in the last 5 games. But yeah, that would mean that 5 bases in the last 2 games to be in the realm of possibilities, and I don't doubt that because he had been swinging a pretty hot bat. Fan Guochen at the plate, second at bat of the season. He popped up to shortstop in the last inning. Man on the corners. 0-1 count. Fastball inside part of the plate, but fouled to the first base side. Briam is now at 51 pitches. That's after 2 economical innings. I believe he ended the last inning with 27 or so pitches. He's at 24. That one is grounded to third. And Liu Jihong comes home as strong as Lin Yiquan tries to score on the play. Great play by Liu Jihong as he recognizes it, throws a dart to the catcher, Jiang Shaohong, to cut off Lin Yiquan at home plate. So that's out number 2. But out number 2, no runs scored for the Dragons. That's good for the Dragons. On Guardian side, you still have men out first and second with 2 outs, and right fielder Sheng Haowei, who had a base hit in the last inning. and now advance to second base on the throwing error by the catcher. Maybe we can do that for the second half of this game. Michael wants to hear the favorite ballpark food. Well, and also we had to talk about like Taiwanese ballpark food or American ballpark food, because those are different. And to be very honest, I think y'all be disappointed in this. I haven't been to a lot of ball games, and when I do, I don't spend a lot because those are very expensive. Taiwanese ballpark food. Okay, I haven't bought a ticket to a Taiwanese baseball game since 2008. That one is a pop-up to right field, and that will be caught by right fielder Zheng Taorong for the third out of the inning. The Guardians score 2 on 3 base hits, including a double by Lin Yiquan, and the Guardians score 2 based on 3 base hits, including a double by Lin Yiquan, and we head to the top of the 4th inning. Scores 2-1. Excuse me. Oh no! I bought a ticket last year. Yes, I know. I used the. So last year, Taiwan was handing out what do you call them, Sean? Vouchers. Like the government was giving out. Was it 3,000 NTD for each like citizen? And then the Monkeys had a promotional deal in which, like, for a weekday game, if you used the 500, like, because they give you the voucher, right? And it's like in paper, like you can use it as money, but like it's different from the normal paper, like in the normal paper money. So like people can tell like whether you're using the voucher. And the point of it, yeah, and the point of it is like it allows the amount that allows the sellers to have promotional events based on you only what like based on, so it makes the sellers to, it's not a check because they're not giving you cash. Like you can't use it as cash. Oh no, you can use it as cash. My mistake. You can use it as cash, but you cannot save it as cash. Like you can't save it. So it's like a voucher. You can use it anywhere. You can't get a change. Like so, like one if it's like they give you like paper, right? $500 500 NTD vouchers, like 4 of them, and like 5 200 NTD papers, and you use them. If you use a 200 paper and then you want to buy something for $100, then you can't. Then you can't get a change. But then, so like basically, if you buy something for $300, that one is grounded back to it hits the pitcher, goes to short, and Li Zhongxian gets the runner at first base. But the Dragons are very adamant that Chen Ping, the center fielder, beats out the throw. So we will have a challenge. Yeah, you got to spend the vouchers. If you buy something like $300 and you have but they only give you 500 papers and the 200 papers, then you have to like spend the 200 plus 100 of your own money. Because if you use the 200 paper the 200 papers, they don't give you the 100 back. Like they don't give you the change. But yeah, it was basically like a stimulus thing. Yeah, and the companies could turn them into like cash from the bank, like from the government. And the reason why they wouldn't just give you cash so that you don't save it, like because this is true. Asians tend to save a lot more than Americans, and so like if they had just given me cash, I probably would have saved 2,000 of them and used 1,000. But then because they give you a voucher and like you can't save it, and also like you can't, like you have to use it by December 31st of last year, so you have to like spend it relatively soon. So you can't save it, and so like if they give you 3,000 and you have to like use the 3,000. The ruling is overturned So Chen Pingjie has himself an infield single. That was, a bouncer, a comebacker going straight to the pitcher. It hit Jiang Guohao on the throwing shoulder, but it looks like he's fine. Li Dongxian with the scoop behind him throws to first, but does not get Chen Pingjie at first base. So it's an infield single. And now catcher Jiang Shaohong. Oh, no. Okay, so for the stimulus vouchers in Taiwan, you have to give the government 1,000. They gave you 3,000 back. So technically, you get $2,000 of free money, but then but they also make you spend $1,000 of your own money to get that 2,000. Another derailment. But so basically, like companies and sellers. In order to make people spend their vouchers at their own place, they have all kinds of different promotional events. And for the monkeys, it was normally a weeknight game is about $300 per person. We're talking about in Taiwanese dollars here. But if you use the $500 voucher, then you can get 2 tickets for a weekday game. So that's what I spent it on. And also, I spent a lot of money with the monkeys I spent a lot of my vouchers for the monkeys on the monkeys. And on first base, Shaohong, that one is back. Lin Youing gives it a chase. It goes into the dugout, but Lin Youing is okay. He's fine. There's a little bit of I don't know what you call it. Anyways, Lin Youing is okay. That's the gist. The monkeys also had another discount where like normally their jersey is $1,800, like NTD, but like if you use the vouchers, it's $1,000. So I was like that's too good of a discount to dismiss. So I bought. It's also my first the first time I personally bought a jersey ever, including Emma. I haven't bought an MLB jersey myself. This is too expensive. $180. A pitch count for Jiang Guohao is at 48. So he's been doing okay in terms of pitch count. The Dragons have been quite aggressive. Yeah, 1,000 NTD for a jersey was a deal. And like I didn't notice until like the Sunday. Like so they only had the discount for like one weekend. I didn't know this until the Sunday. I forgot to bring my voucher. Swing and a miss. Jiang Shaohong chases the breaking ball. Out number 1. That was a great pitch by Jiang Guohao. We have the first out of this inning. It was the discount was like over a weekend, and I didn't notice until like Sunday afternoon. I didn't bring my voucher that day. Yeah, the new ones are 1,800, around 1,800 NTD, which is like $60. Compared to the MLB is like really good, and the quality is as good. The qualities are as good, except it doesn't have like the logo, the MLB logo. But yeah, I was going to work that day because I was working for the league and had to work on Sunday. That swing and a miss on that splitter changeup, and so I asked my mom to head to the mall because the monkeys have a shop in Taipei. 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss on that changeup once again. Strike 2. The quality, like. I think baseball jerseys in general, like they're just heavy a lot of the times. Like if back in the if you don't use polyester baseball jerseys are just going to be heavy. And the ones that, like, I don't know why, like, it looks like the teams in the CPBL, that one's grounded to first, Van Gogh picks it up in foul territory. I don't know what CPBL, but like, it looks like from the screen, right? Like the jerseys that the players wear are like polyester. They're light, it's hot. It's understandable, but like that's especially in the case of the monkeys. They're the jerseys look a lot lighter than the ones that I bought, which is heavier. Definitely was not polyester. Which is like the quality is better in terms of like the longevity of things. That one is a line drive to right field, and that's a foul ball. Very, very close. Very, very close to the foul line. Yeah, but like the ones that the fans buy are not as light. Like it's. But I'm pretty sure it lasts longer because polyester doesn't last very long. The ones that they sell are like cotton, I think, more cotton or like stuff like that. So those last a little bit longer. Yeah, and the ones that like they have actual stitches, whereas like on especially on the monkeys case, that one is a curveball down in the zone. The ones that I bought, it has like actual stitches on stuff on stuff. But like the ones that the monkeys wear on the road, the red ones, like you can tell like like those are polyester. Like they just printed the stuff on it. So yeah, I as a fan, I'm very happy with the jersey I buy. Like it's not it lasts longer. Like for the money that I don't want to spend money on a jersey and like see it deteriorate like a year after I buy it. Yeah. Yeah, but Sean Kramer says that the membership jersey for Fubon is heavy, but the team shop ones come lighter. When I buy the personalization, they stitch it on and it's cheap, $25 US dollars. Yeah, I really enjoyed the monkeys. I bought the red one. I bought the road one because I don't look really good in white, and also like the red is more Rakuten. That one is fouled back and hit the catcher. Andy's asking, oh yes, you can get the personalized, but not by the team. Like, I'm pretty sure Sean has a different story than I do. I don't have mine personalized, but for the monkeys, they actually set up a workshop in the stadium. Like it's not team owned, or like they just cooperate with the team, and they have all the Mandarin names of the players plus all the numbers and all the English characters there, so they can print it on it for you. They don't like they don't. The monkeys one don't stitch it because I'm pretty sure Kramer has it stitched because those are membership jerseys. That one is taken to left field. Gao Guoling with the catch, out number 2. Zhang Guohao 1 out away from getting out of this inning despite a leadoff single. Sean says Fubon Team Shop will do it for you, but it takes a week or so. But the monkeys one, if you do it on site, like it's like I think they can do it like because they don't stitch it, like they print it on, so like they hot press it, so it takes it's a lot quicker. Pretty sure if they stitch it, it's gonna take a while longer. But if you want to, if you can like custom, you can put the player's name on it, Mandarin or English and their number, or you can have your own number and your own name, but your own name has to be in English because they don't have every Mandarin character there. That one is line to left with a broken bat. Yeah, the bat was flying off contact. Yeah, in America, it's like the jerseys come with names on them, and if they run out, they run out. Yeah, I mean that's smart too. The bat I was talking about that flew off on contact was fair. It landed in fair territory. Chen Kailun was had a pretty cool reaction to it. Kind of like it dodge away while going after the ball. Yeah, the jerseys are basically what happens with the jerseys in America. Like they have all the players, the popular ones numbers. That one's grounded to short, leads Ongxian, goes to second on the play. It's a 6-4 6-4 ground out, 6-4 ground out. And we head to the bottom of the inning. No run scored despite the leadoff single by center fielder Chen Pingjie. And we head to the bottom of the inning. The score is 2-1. Yeah, in Taiwan, they have all the jerseys of the popular players and their numbers and stuff like that. They don't customize it for like they don't personalize it for you. And if they run out at the team shop, they run out. You can also obviously buy them online. Which, like, if it's run out online, it's run out online. Bottom of the fourth inning. Sorry, I was receiving some texts from colleagues. 2-1 the count. 0-1. 2-1 the score. 0-2 now with Briam stuffing a curveball in there for a strike. He's pitching against center fielder Lin Zhexuan, who just fouled to the third base side. Lin Zhexuan is 0-1 with a fly to center field. What's the weather like today in Taipei? Because it looks very nice. Is it as hot as it is like during the summer? I don't really think it'll be as hot, but like, is it still hot in Taipei? How hot is it? That one is ground to foul territory. 28 degrees is very nice. It's a little bit hotter than I would want, but like if you're under the shade, that's very nice. But it is humid. That is true. I'm thinking about 28 degrees in Austin. Like that would be like the best weather. But yeah, 28 degrees in humidity would be a little bit tougher. But yeah, having right now, today, like sitting in the dugout today in Taipei would be really nice. That's a check swing, no swing as they appeal to the first base umpire. Oh, it looks very close. It looks very close from swing, but doesn't look like he's swinging this one though. Still a few inches away from an actual full swing. That one is a line drive to left field, and that's a base hit leadoff single for the Fubon Guardians once again for the third time in the last 4 innings. Now at the plate is catcher Lin Yo, who struck out in his last at bat. Sorry, I'm looking at some important stuff for a little second. Lin Yo lays down a bunt, and it's a good one. Briam cuts it down and tags out Lin Yo on the base path. Lin Zheshun goes to second. That was a big boss move by Briam too. Proper hot weather. Andy, are you in Hong Kong right now? Like you don't have to tell me where you are, but like, but yeah, just because wouldn't Hong Kong be around as hot as Taipei right now? Also, just realized I forgot to update the score graphic. First pitch, strike against third baseman Chen Kailun. Chen Kailun had a base hit in the last inning, started the rally, came home to score the first run for the Fubon Guardians. Oh, yeah. I've heard about weather in the UK. And no disrespect, but okay, so is UK weather like Seattle weather or like it's a bunch of rain all year, every year? Not gonna lie, southern Taiwan could use some UK weather right now. Snow? You had snow yesterday? Jeez. I'm in Austin, and I can't imagine that. It's April. It's April already. Get your act together, UK. Lions game just finished the third inning. And the score is 4-1. Thank you to Urban Hermit. We're still ahead by 4 outs. The lead has shrunk dramatically, but still ahead. The Lions have, as of yesterday, before yesterday's games, I think the Lions have the longest average game time. That one's granted to third base. Liu Jihong scoops it up, throws to first base for the Lin Zheshun, goes to third on the throw. Good alert base running by the veteran center fielder. So the run is 90 feet. The runner is 90 feet away. Yes, but that was 2 months ago, Mike. That was 2 months ago, not in April. Not in April. That's the point. And the fact that we almost got killed by a snowstorm is perfectly why it tells you perfectly why Austin weather is the best in the world. Because we almost got killed by a snowstorm. That tells you how good the weather normally is in Austin. Shortstop Li Zongxian at the plate. He's 0 for 2. Reached on an error on in the third inning. And also forced out at second base afterwards. Grounded out to shortstop. Grounded out to short in the first inning. That one almost hits Lin Zhesheng, who's at third right now. That one, the catcher didn't know. Zhang Shaohong was looking for the ball at first, but the ball didn't go too far. All right, I'm not gonna not gonna try to compete Texas weather to California weather, but yeah, the last 3 weeks or so in Austin have been amazing. The heat will come really soon, so like it's not like Texas in the summer is brutal, but the last couple of weeks has been perfect. That one is a high fly ball to right field. Zheng Taorong fights the sun, makes the catch. That is out number 3. A man left on base here in the 4th inning by the Fubon Guardians. No one scored despite the leadoff single, and we head to the top of the 5th inning, and the score is 2-1. Yeah, I'm not gonna compete Austin weather to San Diego weather. Snow in April. Is that normal? Like, or is that like a fake news global warming kind of thing? I just realized. Now that looks better. Just random. Gotcha. Because snow in April is really weird. "15 degrees sounds really nice. And not gonna lie, I think I prefer colder weather. I prefer weather like as long as I'm not like freezing to death. As long as I'm not freezing to death, I would rather like be under be under blankets. Especially when I'm sleeping, I'd rather be like under blankets than like being so hot that like they're like not putting on any blanket. Like, you know, I yeah. I like when I sleep, I rather it to be like 18 degrees than like 25. But like when I'm outside, 25 is amazing. We're talking about Celsius here. We're talking about the real temperature, the real temperature measurement, not the crazy 32 to 282 thing. That one is a check swing that got the ball, and it goes to shortstop. Shi Xiangyu grounds out to short to start the 5th inning. He checked swing, but he made contact with the ball. Li Zongxin had to come up to field it and make and to make the out. But still, good play by the shortstop. Yeah, Mike said it right. You can always put more layers on, but there's only so many you can take off. That is perfect. Perfect way to say it. First pitch versus leadoff hitter Li Kaiwei is a strike. Oh, and 1 to count, 1 out. The pitch is a changeup foul to the first base side. Li Kaiwei now in a 0-2 hole. Li Kaiwei is 1 for 2. He had a triple in the 3rd inning. That was also scored the first run of the game for the Dragons. That one's to opposite field, and that is base hit number 2 for Li Kaiwei in this game. Grounder through the third baseman and through the grass of third baseman and the shortstop. Yes, the Celsius is the only true temperature scale. What the heck is like 82 is freezing point, 212 is boiling point. What the heck is that? And I should be on the Fahrenheit side because the guy who invented it is called Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit. I did a paper on him in 5th grade. But the scale is just stupid. it's late. I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, the scale is weird. But I would give props to the Fahrenheit scale by saying this: you never hear somebody say, tomorrow the temperature will be 67.2 degrees. Like, it's always a whole number, which I think in America that's good. And that's a good thing for Americans. That first pitch was very close pitch that was called a ball, but very like close up to the edge. The runner goes on the pitch on the following pitch, but that one's foul to the third base side. Yeah, like I'll get like you don't like normally for Celsius. Sometimes you go tomorrow will be like 22.5, like 22.5 degrees. So like when you adjust the thermostat, you will have like 22 and 22 and a half. But for the Fahrenheit, it's always whole numbers because, yeah, I mean, I do give it. I guess that's the one good thing, but still. That pitch is a breaking ball low. Mike says, my only argument is 75 and sunny sounds way better than it sounds way better on a plane than 22 and a half. No, man. I'm not good enough in Fahrenheit to like. I'm still so far on the Celsius side, where like I just support Celsius. What's like whatever I hear like on the plane, they go 25 degrees Celsius, 25 degrees Celsius. Like they have to remind themselves it's Celsius. You know what I'm saying? Like the pilots, they work like it's so like the Fahrenheit and the English scale is so bad that like the pilots had to go. In Boston, the temperature is 15 degrees Celsius and something degrees Fahrenheit. Like they see the temperature and then like they just read it and then they go like, oh sure, we have to do the Fahrenheit thing too. Oh, that means I have to specify it's in centigrade. And that is true, by the way. Just in case y'all didn't know, if the flight is from like Taipei to Beijing, which means it doesn't cross the airspace of America, and it doesn't land in America, it doesn't take off from America, it just never crossed the airspace. Okay, even then, even on those flights, the pilots have to refer to the Fahrenheit as well. What an extra 30 seconds they have to do every flight, and look at how many flights they have to do, how much time they've wasted just to talk about the Fahrenheit. Full count the pitch, and it's a ball as the Kaiway goes on the pitch, on the throw. So that's the first walk Zhang Guohao has given so far in this game, and he's given up to right fielder Zheng Taorong. 20. Andy says, all I know is 28 centigrade is 82 Fahrenheit. Everything else is made up in numbers and mad numbers. I agree. Liu Qihong at the plate. He's batting third tonight. 0 for 2 so far in this game. He popped up to behind the plate for the first at bat and flew out to center field. Liu Qihong, though, was the RBI leader, RBI king in the Future Series last year when the Weichuan Dragons competed, and started the season in the cleanup spot, but also started out the season very slow. So Ye Junzhang was playing around with him. That with this order, that one is a line drive to left field. Li Kaiwei comes in from second base and he beats the throw according to the umpire. Very close play at home plate. Lin Youing was to the left, or caught the ball to the left of home plate. Li Kaiwei slid around the base, and Lin Youing thought that. So when Li Kaiwei goes around Lin Youing, and Lin Youing goes back to tag Li Kaiwei after goes back to tag the runner, but yeah, he slow mo shows that Li Kaiwei does beautifully dodges the tag, and yes, and he does touch home plate. So really, really good base running by Li Kaiwei. Yeah, very, very good job sliding away from the catcher, who's kind of in his path. And that will chase Jiang Guohao off the mound. Not a bad season debut for Jiang Guohao. 4.1 innings pitched, 2 ER. Right, two earned runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hits allowed. That's a little bit much, but he only allowed 2 earned runs and 1 walk. That being said, the 2 runners on base is his responsibility. So we might see more earned runs coming up, or not. I maybe just jinxed the Dragons. No, a 1 strikeout only though. So 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 7 hits allowed. So far, 2 earned runs as well. Yeah, that was a beautiful slide. I might go back and GIF that for the league account. But yeah, beautiful stuff. It's not at the same stratosphere, but it reminded me of Ichiro's ninja stuff back in 2012 against the Baltimore Orioles in the playoffs. I think that was a very famous play that just rocked the world. Ichiro was dead out on that play, but in this case, Li Kaiwei was still ahead of the throw. He did a really good job of getting out of the way, getting out of Lin Youing's way. Coming in to pitch for the Guardians is Oh Shu-cheng. He's pitched in 8 outings, 7.2 innings pitched, 4.7 ERA. He got the win yesterday against the Rakuten Monkeys. He came in to pitch the 10th inning, I believe. And the Guardians walked off the Monkeys, so in the 10th as well. Fastball up in the zone, but it's called strike. Well, Saul Herrera now at the plate with an RBI opportunity. He's 1 for 2. He's 1 for 2. Had a single in the second, flew out to center field to end the inning in the third. The pitch, that one is foul to the third base side. 1-2 now the count. The pitch, that one is fouled back once again. Oh Shu-cheng this week has made one outing. That was yesterday. Oh no, has appeared in 3 games. My mistake. I wanted to ball outside part of the plate. Does not get picked up by the umpire. Oh Shu-cheng in his last in this week has made 3 outings and faced 10 hitters, gave up 2 hits, and no earned runs given up. Fastest pitch was 142 kilometers per hour. That one's a high fly ball to right field, not deep enough. And Sheng Hao Wei comes in to make the catch. Out number 2. Chen Pingjie, the hottest hitter tonight, is at the plate. I just jinxed him. He's 2 for 2. My apologies. I just jinxed the Weichen Dragons in this inning once again. One man on first and second, 2 outs, 2-2 the score. Top of the 5th inning. Oh Shu-cheng versus Chen Pingjie. A lot of 2s in that graphic. 2-2 the score, 2 men on base, 2 outs. Chen Pingjie is 2 for 2. If Patrick was here, I would ask him to analyze the bug because he's a really big. He's a score graphic guru. That one is a pop fly to center field. That could be trouble. And Lin Zhexuan does not make the catch. It's a Texas leaguer. And that brings in Zheng Taorong from second. That brings in and Liu Jihong stops at third base. Chen Pingjie has himself against the. I don't know if that's an error. I don't know if they will rule that an error. But Chen Pingjie stops at second base nonetheless. As a changeup that actually Chen Pingjie was way in front of and just had really the contact wasn't great, but it just landed at the perfect spot. Even the caliber, fielder with the caliber of Lin Zhexuan couldn't make the catch. So all of a sudden, the Dragons score a run there, right? So they're up 3-2. Wait, no, it's bases loaded. Hold up. Is it bases loaded? My mistake. Then no, it was 3-2. Yeah, it's man on second and third with 1 out. The graphic is wrong. Let's see if they. I think they ruled it they ruled that play a double. They ruled it a base hit. So it's an RBI double for Chen Pingjie. He's 3 for 3 tonight. 4 total bases in 3 at bats. Jiang Shaohong with a grounder to third. Chen Kailun makes the play, throws to first base, and that is it for the Weichen Dragons. 3 base hits and a walk brings in 1 run, but the Weichen Dragons leave 2 men on base. We head to the bottom of the inning. The score. Oh, they score 2. Did I say score 2? Dragons score 2, so they grab a 3-2 lead. So one of those runs belong. So the score, the second score belongs to Zhang Guohao. So he leaves the game. What have I done? Leaves the game with the 3 earned runs under his name. Can y'all still hear me? Am I like coming in and out? Four little, five little, six little guardians, little, more. For those who are on Twitch, I am sorry. You're not. They're playing that song in the stadium right now. For those on CPPL TV, I'm even sorry. I'm sorry even more because I'm 100% sure my voice is not syncing up with the audio feed from your CPPL TV feed. So, okay, so it looks like it was from my end. The dropping, like the feed dropping out. So I closed some tabs and stuff like that to see if that will make it better. Oh, so CBPL TV is like that. So like, it's it the feed really depends on the internet, like user. Like, so that means I'm using on CBPL TV as well. So yeah, Andy is saying that I'm 1 second ahead of his CBPL TV feed, which means that my CBPL TV feed, and then me processing in my brain, that was a grounder to second base, and the Dragons do make the play. That was second baseman Lee Kai Wei, but that was a little too close to comfort. But still, they still make the play. So that's the first out of the game, of the inning. So that means that from my CBBL TV feed to me processing my brain to me saying out loud to my computer going to your computer, all of that lag combined, I'm still 1 second ahead. Maybe it's time to refresh your CBPL TV feed because that is quite laggy. Now that is quite far behind. Swing and a miss on 0-1 count by Lin Yiquan, 0-2 now. Now, besides that third inning rally, Jake Brigham has been pitching quite well. That was a pop fly to shallow center field, and Chen Pingjian calls off the shortstop and the left fielder to make the catch. 2 outs. Yeah, besides the third inning, which the Guardians scored 2, Jake Brigham has really settled down. 3 hits allowed in 14 plate appearances besides the third inning. Damn. And he says, my CPPL TV feed is on my proper computer, your stream on my iPad. Well, thank you so much, Andy. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming in and watching it every single week. Really appreciate all of you guys who are listening right now. For listening to this, that's a grounder. That's going to be trouble, but the Dragons let it roll out of bounds. Let it roll foul. That's the correct baseball phrase on the third baseline. It was a really weak grounder down the line. It was basically the same as a bunt, but it rolls foul. So it was going to be a base hit if it was a fair ball. No question. 1-1 to count. Gao Guohui, 2 for 2. He had 2 for 2, and he also drove in a run. Swing and a miss on a 1-1 count. Fastball, a little bit down Broadway, but also on the inside part of the plate. Blows by Gao Guoling. Swing and a miss on that breaking ball. 3 up, 3 down for Jake Bream. First time since the first inning. And we head to the top of the 6th. Score remains 4-2. Oh, Jesus, 3-2. I'll be taking a little break as you guys enjoy the Fubon Angels performance. And I'll be right back after a couple minutes. Welcome back. Well, welcome back for me. Thank you all for the patience, and we will be back. We are back for the second half of this game. Do a quick recap for the first 5 innings. The Waitron Dragons started the Waitron Dragons. Was an interesting game because in the second and third inning, the script both the top and bottom half have been really similar for both teams. But after 3 innings, the Fubon Guardians grabbed a 2-0 lead, and Zhang Guohao was pretty good throughout the game until the fifth. A single and then a walk kind of disrattled them a little bit. Gave up another single that ultimately chased him out of the ball game. Zhang Guohao did pretty decent job in his season, going 4.1 innings, giving up 3 earned runs and 7 base hits. That was a pretty good debut. But the Dragons in the 5th inning do overturn the deficit, and they actually grabbed a 3-2 lead. The go-ahead hit was by second baseman. It was by center fielder Chen Pingjie, who had a Texas leaguer that even Lin Zhexin couldn't reach, and drove in the go-ahead run. We'll be starting the top of the 6th inning, and the Fubon Guardians have a new pitcher on the mound. It will be Chen Weilin. So that is it for Oshu Chen today. He pitched 0.2 of an inning, no strikeout, no walks, 1 hit allowed, but no runs given up. The runs he did technically give up. There was a run scored under when he was pitching, but it was not his responsibility as he came in and inherited 2 runners on base. Chen Weilin faces Zhang Youming, and the hitter grounds to short. Li Zongxian with the fields the ball, throws to first base, out. Number 1. Well, we're through 5 now, and this is still a pretty close game, a pretty evenly matched game. If any of y'all are watching the other game, give me a quick update on that, just to see who's ahead at this point. But who do y'all also let me know who y'all think will win this game, because the Guardians have gone to the bullpen early. Jake Bream has thrown 5 innings. Besides the third, he's been pretty good. He's been pretty good, but he has thrown 80 pitches. So the Dragons might be using their bullpen real soon as well. Who do y'all think will win this game? All right, first baseman Zhu Xianling at the plate now. He's 0 for 2 today, and with fastball inside, 1-1. The pitch, breaking ball up in the zone. 2-1 with 1 out. Chen Weilin so far this week, today's last day of the week. Chen Weilin made 1 appearance, faced 4 batters, swing and a miss on a 2-1 count. Faced 4 batters, allowed 2 hits, but no runs allowed. The Lions Brothers games are at the bottom of the 5th inning. Lions up 6-1. Brothers on first and second with 1 out. Now bases loaded. So we're not that far ahead. They're catching up. But it looked like the bottom of the 5th inning will be an interesting one. Full count, and the pitch is up for ball 4. Second walk the Dragons lineup has drawn so far today. Be interesting. It's interesting because Chen Weilin comes in to pitch. He comes in to face a 7-8-9, but it's lefty, righty, righty. This Dragons lineup is quite righty heavy. But Chen Weilin comes in, but still put in Chen Weilin as a lefty pitcher. Actually, let's see. 1-1. That one's well struck. That one's going to left field, and that one is going out of the field. Bye, baseball. It's a 2-run home run for shortstop Shi Xiangyu. His first home run of the season, and I think that's also his first home run in the CPBL in his career. And the Dragons go up 5-2. Oh, I guess I don't think he's actually his first home run, because looks like I think he was drafted through the expansion draft. Yeah, he played for the Fubon Guardians. He was picked through the expansion draft in 2019, but yeah, he absolutely just sent that high fastball that's caught way too much of the plate out to left field, and that one coming off the bat looked very good. And the Weichen Dragons, the dugout, I think they had the silent treatment at first. Gave up the silent treatment, but nice job to see. Nice things to see as the Dragons dugout having a lot of fun. They've been struggling so far this week, the last couple of weeks, falling from about 500 to now they're 6-13. But this is a young team that I'm pretty sure the coaches and manager has done, has had built them up mentally to take on this challenge. This is the first year in the CPBL as well for the entire team. Off the bat, that just flew off, and it looked like it was going to be a good one. And now the Dragons fans at Xinzhuang has come alive. Fastball in the zone, called strike 3 on an 0-2 count, and Chen Weiling follows up the home run with two quick outs, including a 3-pitch strikeout against Ding Taorong. But it's not before the Dragons extend the lead with a 2-run home run by shortstop Shi Xiangyu, and we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The score is 5-2. Well, that is Chen Handian in the stands. He's a really cool, really cool. So I guess he's a celebrity now in Taiwan. But yeah, they caught. He was at the ballpark last week, and I thought it was just like a one-time thing. But he's back, so great to see him supporting Taiwanese baseball. He's a very good impressionist. He made a living of making impressions of famous people in Taiwan, and then from there, he kind of expanded. Was movies, featured in movies, featured in TV shows, and had an album, had an EP released as well, and has gotten pretty big. It's been a pretty big deal the last couple of years. Started out as like a sidekick would be a glorified name, because why he just kind of stands there, like during a talk, he's featured in a talk show, more of a sidekick in a talk show, just kind of doing impressions, and like people would just ignore him, like you just like standing at the corner doing impressions and stuff like that. That one is a line drive to center field by, who is it by? That is by first baseman Fan Guochen. Leadoff man is on base for the Guardians. The celebrity I was talking about, his name is Chen Handian. He's a really big fan of his. Was hiding in the corner of the talk show for about a decade before he really got into. He really caught his big break and got famous. Lions up 6-3. after the fifth, at the end of the fifth inning. So the brothers scored 2 in the fifth. Thank you, Urban. Now at the plate is right fielder Sheng Haowei. 1-for-2 today. Is it? I think this is Sean Kramer's favorite song, right? Maybe. He reached second base in the second inning after that single, but flew out to right field in the third. That one is a pop fly to right field, and Zheng Taorong makes the catch. Out number 1. This one is this song, Lin Zhexuan's song, who's at the plate. He's 1-for-2. This song is pretty cool too. Like there's a his number is 1, and then like they incorporated like number 1 in his song. Like if you listen closely, we are number 1. Yeah, that's pretty clever in my opinion. Some of these Guardian songs, like it grew on me. Like at first I didn't like them. That one's a curveball that was almost got Lin Zhexuan in the head. Just kind of lost. Bream just kind of lost it on that breaking ball right there. And Lin Zhexuan was able to duck out of that quickly, but it was a scary moment for the hitter. Fastball down in the dirt, 3-0. Lin Zhexuan missed. Lin Zhexuan has had bad injuries with hit by pitches before. Was once hit in the wrist and missed the majority of the season. I forgot which year it was, but has bad memories with the hit by pitches. That one's a fastball outside, and that will be ball 4. It's the first walk Jake Bream given up all game, and he's now at 87 pitches. He is 2 outs away from potentially getting out of there here with a quality start. As we see Liao Wenyang in the bullpen for the Weichun Dragons. Liao Wenyang has only had 1 outing so far this week, so he's relatively fresh. It will be 8-9-1 coming up for the Guardians. Catcher Lin Youing, who's 0-for-1, and Chen Kailun, who's 1-for-1. 1-for-2, Jesus. Game time run at the plate. Bottom of the 6th inning. Yesterday was also, I think, it was the exact same scenario yesterday. The Monkeys were up 3 in the bottom 6th inning, and Lin Youing at the plate with men on first and second. And Lin Youing drove a line drive to the gap in left center field, drove in 2, and then another base hit allowed the Guardians to tie it up. That one's a fly ball to center field. Chen Pingjie makes the catch. Runners do not advance. So that's out number 2. Not the best result for the Guardians. But they will bring in Chalun, who had a base hit in the 3rd inning and came in to score the first run for the Guardians. And again, he represents the game-tying run. First pitch, breaking ball in the zone, strike one. And the Guardians have played their chance songs. Briam, if he doesn't give up another run, or he can give up one run and get out of this inning and still has the quality start. Breaking ball to right field. Taro makes the catch. Out number 3. So the Guardians leave 2 left on base. And do not score. Jake Briam has a quality start under his name if he does not come out in the 7th inning. Then we head to the top of the 7th. Score is 5-2. I don't know what took me so long there. This is the longest outing by Jake Briam. My mistake. That is not. Jake Briam threw 7 innings in his last game versus the CTBC Brothers. The hitters to face in the 7th inning will be the 3-4-5, third baseman Liu Jihong, DH Rosal Herrera, and center fielder Chen Pingjie. It looks like Chen Weiling is still on the mound. Chen Weiling still on the mound, and he faced his first pitch in the 7th inning. There's a ball outside part of the plate. Liu Jihong's 1 for 3 with a base hit in the 5th inning. That drove in a run in the 5th. Also chased Jiang Guohao off the mound. 1-1 the count, and the pitch is in the zone. Strike 2. That one is fouled back, hits the face mask of the umpire. Luckily, no ump cams today, so inexpensive hit, relatively. It looked like if there was an ump cam, it probably would have been game over for the camera. Which, by the way, CPBL broadcasts, some of them have been experimenting and using the GoPro cameras with the ump cam, right? That one is a line drive to short, and Li Zhongxian does not come up with it, so it's going to center field. That's a base hit. Liu Jihong has a second hit all game. This is the third time in the last 7 innings that the Waging Dragons have a leadoff man on base. And there will be a pinch runner for the Dragons. It looks like it's Wu Dongrong who's pinch hitting for Liu Jihong. First pitch strike going in down the zone. Going into the zone, curveball. So her first hitting from the right side for the first time today. 1 for 3, all from the left side. Had a single in the second inning, flew out to center in the third, and flew out to right in the fifth. That one is a line drive to right field. That will be trouble. That hits the wall, and that will be an extra base hit. Shen Hao picks it up, throws to second, and Rosal Herrera beats out the throw at second. And Udorong tries to come in to score on the throw, but he gets tagged out at home plate. And the camera zooms into the Dragons coach, who had a pretty interesting reaction. But Udorong, a little too aggressive there on the base path. But Herrera still gets a double. So men is still on second base but now with 1 out. Could have been men on second and third with nobody out, but now men on second with 1 out. It's an interesting. I don't know. Like, now this one is Skycam, more of not a real Skycam, but this view will show. Okay, it does not show the third base coach. It looks like the commentary is saying it looks like the third base coach gave it a green light. That was a high pop up to shortstop. Li Zongxian makes the play, so Chen Pingjie is taken care of for the first time tonight. I was gonna say it's an interesting call to wave Wudong home, because even though he pinch ran, he doesn't have the best speed. He probably has slightly above average speed. And Shen Hao actually did a really good job picking up the ball from the wall, and the hitter that was on deck was Chen Pingjie, who was 3 for 3 who was 3 for 3 when they were making the decision. So it's an interesting call. Not the one that I don't necessarily agree with, but yeah, I mean, that's that. I mean, there's nothing much we can change on that. Now the new pitcher will be coming in. Chen Weiling's night's over. He pitched 2.2 innings, 1.2 innings. 1 strikeout and 1 walk. Gave up 4 hits and 2 runs. Both are earned with that home run. And he has he has at least 2 earned runs on his name. The Rosal Herrera on second is under Chen Weiling's responsibility. On the mound, the new pitcher on the mound will be Lan Kaiqing. Lan Kaiqing has made 2 appearances this week, and faced 7 hitters, gave up 3 base hits and a run. So his ERA this week is 9.0. Looking at the play, once again, Shen Hao did a really good job picking up the ball after it bounces off the wall. And Li Zongxian looked didn't expect Udorong to come home, and he took an extra second to realize that Udorong was coming home, and then he threw home, and he still got Udorong out by a pretty good margin. Coming up, hitting for the Dragons now versus Lan Kaiqing will be Jiang Shaohong, who's 0 for 2 with a sac bunt in the second inning, struck on the 4th and grounded out to 3rd in the 5th. Man on second, 2 outs. That one is a line drive to left field. That's a base hit. Rosal Herrera is waved home, and he beats out the throw at home plate. Lin Youing, the catcher for the Guardians, is asking the team to challenge the call. And it's a really close pace. And another great play at home plate. A lot of good plays at home plate today. I can count 4 just by memory. But yeah, the Guardians challenge the call. It's very close. I think Rosal Herrera might have snuck in because he's really tall. He's really long. So like he probably snuck in. But the ball kind of did get there before the runner. It's a really close play. No doubt about it. Yeah, catcher Lin Youing seemed adamant about the challenge. But I think it's 50-50. The Guardians, you got a challenge. 5-2 heading to the 7th inning, bottom of the 7th inning, versus 6-2 with men on first, and you still got you still got the 79 hitters coming up. It's quite different. I mean, a 3-run game and a 4-run game. It's by 1 run, but like late innings, that is a big difference. I don't know what to talk about. It's. Hi, JR. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, it's a pleasure to bring you commentary now. It's like perfect time to do a reset. This is English CPPL watch along unofficial broadcast, and nothing of it. We're not representing any team, league, or any broadcasting companies. It's just us with the laptop in our rooms doing this. We're bringing you the commentary of the game between the Dragons and the Fubon Guardians. Right now, the Dragons are leading 5-2, 6-2 in the top of the 7th inning, but the Guardians are challenging the call at home plate. If the call is confirmed, it will be 6-2. If the call is overturned, it will be 5-2. So each team is allowed 2 challenges throughout the game, and they can use it. They can use it like there's a guideline. Like there are some that they can use it on, some they can't. The baseline basically. Oh, let's look at the replay. Rosal Herrera, is safe. It looks like he's safe because his right knee actually crosses home plate. And Lin Youing tags Herrera on the hands, but Herrera's right knee actually crosses the plate first. So they haven't made the ruling yet, but based on the replay, it looks like he's safe. Yeah, he's safe. Rosal Herrera safe at home plate. So that's the 6th run for the Dragons in this game. It's a great play by home play. A really exciting game from both sides from both teams, really, in this game. And the ball somehow went through Herrera's arm and head and his helmet. Now, how the ball avoided hitting Herrera is quite amazing. And Lin Youing catching the ball behind the plate to not block the base path is also very respectable. Now, at the plate for the Ruijin Dragons is Zhang Youming, the left fielder. He's 0 for 3, 2 groundouts, and 1 flyout. That one was to left field. That one is the pitch is down low. Counts 1-1. Line catching, trying to keep this game at a 1 swing deficit. That one is a line drive to first base, but straight to Fan Guochen, and he makes the out. Three base hits, including a double by Rosal Herrera. That scored 1 run for the Weichuan Dragons as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Dragons up 6-2. Now it is the middle of the 7th inning, which means it's a 7th inning stretch. Which means in America, one song is being sung. One song is normally sung during the 7th inning, and along with the CPBL English watch along tradition, I'll be singing that song. Now, if you just joined us, I'm sorry, this is actually a baseball related broadcast, but it is time for some non-baseball stuff. Well, it kind of is baseball. It's a song, but it's a song about baseball, and it's sung in the middle of the 7th inning, which we are in right now. The song goes, "Take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes are out at the old ball game." Oh, you're back, Kevin. I thought you were gonna miss the watch along. That's it for those. Sorry for years, but we're heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. I'm gonna feature that. Thank you for the claps, Andy. That's perfect timing too. If Kevin says he's on break. Yeah, perfect timing too. Right on time for the 7th inning stretch. Li Zhongxian at the plate for the Guardians. He grounds to short, but who is it? A shortstop. Shi Xiangyu with the error at short. So Li Zhongxian is now on first base. And Li Zhongxian got some speed. You're down by 4. You're probably not going to run a lot. But Li Zhongxian does have the second most stolen bases last year. So I also forgot to upload the graphic. So doing that right now. That one's grounded to second base. The Dragons infield turned the double play. So that error is nullified. And Briam is 1 out away from tying his longest outing so far this season. Yeah, Briam had 95 pitches. So he's gonna face Lin Yiquan, the man standing between him. Thank you for seeing along, JR. Makes me feel better. But yeah, it is one of those things. It only happens at the ballpark in the U.S. The broadcasters don't sing them. So hopefully that brought you all back to the ballpark a little bit. 1-1 to count. That one is grounded to second base. Li Kaiwei makes the play. An unconventional 3 up, 3 down for the Fubon Guardians. Briam is through 7. And only given up 2 runs. None of them will happen in the 7th inning. We head to the top of the 8th. Score is 6-2. So Briam now, in 7 innings, let's take a look at his stat line. 7 innings, 2 runs allowed, 7 hits given up, and 2 strikeouts. Good start. 7 innings, 2 earned runs. His last outing was 7 innings and no earned runs versus the CTBC brothers. Oh, they're showing the food. Oh, they're showing the food. Oh, they're showing the food. On CBBL TV, they're showing the food. I don't think this is on Twitch. That looks so good. I'm hungry. It's 3:30 a.m. Haven't eaten in 7 hours. No, 6 hours. No, 7 hours. Can't do math anymore. New catcher for the Fubon Guardians in the top of the 8th inning. We tangent our tangent. We did. I was talking about the vouchers because I was talking about how I barely go to the ballpark. The last time I did was use the vouchers. Which, for those who just joined in, let me re-explain. No, it's a long story. At the plate to start the top of the 8th inning is first baseman Zhu Xiangling. Is that a new catcher? Maybe not. Maybe Lin Youwei just took his classes off. It is not showing on the box score. Favorite ballpark food. Most of the games I attended in 2020, I used the media pass. That one is a grounder to third base. What a play by the third baseman! He gets Zhu Xiangling at first. That one is Chen Kailun, but he looks like he got hurt on that play though. Backhand stop, and basically threw the ball on his knees and still got the runner, but it looks like he hurt his knee a little bit. That is not going to be good news for the Fubon Guardians. He caught the ball, but kneeled down, kneeled as he was diving for the ball, and so a lot of all of the weight and the momentum just got plunked into his right knee. That is it for Chen Kailun in this game. That's very unfortunate. That will bring in. Looks like the Guardians will bring in Ye Zhuxuan to replace the third baseman. Back to the ballpark food. So yeah, most of the games I attended in 2020, I used the media pass because I was covering the game for the league CPPL account. And if you ever entered a game with the pass, like a VIP pass or the media pass, there is free food. Like I didn't have to buy food at the ballparks. But I did the time I did buy a ticket to the Monkeys game. I did buy the ballpark food. Swing and a miss. And the Monkeys had really good food too. They had one side is all Taiwanese food, one side was Japanese food. And I think I bought 章鱼烧。章鱼烧的中文英文是什么？章鱼烧。I bought takoyaki. I bought takoyaki at the ballpark, and then it was good takoyaki too. But like I've never had takoyaki outside of the ballpark, so I guess my first time having takoyaki like ever. But I liked it. Sorry, Mike. Like I was like, how do I say this in a way that don't sound condescending? The last time I think besides the Monkeys game, the first time like I bought a ticket to a sporting event was probably like a college football game here at Texas. And I tried really hard not to buy food here. I had to, I would buy water, like I would do that. But I tried really hard not to buy food because the food here is immensely expensive, like in the ballpark. Swing, call strike 3 against Shi Xiangyu. And that's out number 2. Lan Kaiqing doing a pretty good job so far. Came in the 7th inning, got the out quickly, and then also got these 2 quick outs in the 8th. It will be the leadoff hitter Li Kaiwei at the plate, and that one's grounded to short. Li Zhongxian with the stop throws to first base, and out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for the Weichun Dragons in this inning as we head to the bottom of the 7th. The score is 6-2, and it will be the 4-5-6 coming up for the Fubon Guardians. Teriyaki. There was I also got some. I got in at the ballpark. There's at least I went to another game with Sean too. I went to another game with Sean to the Guardians home game. I think in that game I got a bento box. It was like a chicken leg bento box. Oh, they sound so good right now. And obviously I got beer. I got beer at the Monkeys game too. I made sure I had it early because I drove. I made sure I had it early. But yeah, baseball and especially with the Monkeys game, it was like the middle of July and it was humid, it was hot, so that beer was spot on. Hit the spot right there. At the Guardians game, I had bento box and beer. I had them early on too. I think Sean got pizzas. I think he got a pizza in that game during that game. A lot of great food choices. It's just and the food and the prices are really nice because in Taiwan you're allowed to bring food from outside the ballpark, so they're like they have to come. Like it's not like they can prop up the price inside. Jake Briam's night is over. He threw 7 innings, 98 pitches, only 1 earned run. It's 0.63 earned run average in this game. 2 strikeouts only, but still only 1 earned run given. On the mound for the Weichun Dragons is Lu Weicheng. Has not given up an earned run this season. food. You can bring food in the stadium in the U.S. I doubt it. I don't think so. Not it's certainly not at Texas. But you're Mike. You're the first. Mike, you're the first time. You're the first person I've ever heard that says that you can bring food to a ballpark. Maybe, yeah. Based on my experience, you're not allowed to bring food into ballparks in the States. Interesting. Oh, and like so, I guess the major sports then, because college football, it's no like for my like my school you can't because yeah, at my school even the baseball games, softball games, women's basketball games, you're not allowed to bring food. Only allowed to buy food at the concourse. So minor league baseball, are you allowed to bring food into minor league baseball games? Mike said that he brought a Little Caesar special and gave some to the front check guy. That's really cool. 2-2 the count. That one's popped. That one's popped up. And Lee Kaiwei will come in to make the catch. Out number 1. JR says, same. I've hardly ever buy food at ball games. Very overpriced. 一棒击成全垒打，他是范国成。Oh, oh, 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 oh. Went to a Red Sox game one time and I bought a hot dog. It was a piece of sausage wrapped in like toast bread. Like I go to Texas, I go to University of Texas in Austin, hook 'em horns. Though never did attend a baseball game when I lived in Taichung. In Taiwan, you can bring food. You can bring food into the stadium. I go to Texas. I go to University of Texas at Austin. But yeah, most like major sports events that I've experienced, and I've heard other people talk about, no food. And you're only allowed to buy those like $20 hot dogs, which is just a sausage wrapped in a toast bread. It was really disappointing. 1-1 to count. That one's grounded up the middle. And that's a base hit for Fan Guochen. His second base hit of the night. Also had one in the 6th inning. Yeah, went right up the middle. Almost nailed the pitcher in the foot, but Liu Weicheng got out of it. So now the game-tying run is in the hole. Right fielder Sheng Haowei at the plate. Hook 'em, baby. Hook 'em horns. We run Texas. We run the state. Brandon Dempster says that he was an Aggie. Did we have that? Because I do remember getting like talking about like UT and A&M in the CPPL group chat like last year. Was it? What was probably Brendan. Fastball up in the zone on a 1-0 count. Now the count is 1-1. A&M did beat us this year in the one-game playoff, the one-game series. But still, we have the better conference record. So, okay, it's not Brandon. But yeah, but we still have the better conference record. We just beat Kansas State twice. We also swept South Carolina, which is pretty cool. Fastball up in the zone. 2-1. So hook 'em, baby. Flagship flagship university in the state of Texas. By the way, Aggies fans calling Texas TU is like it's just funny. Like that's like the like out of everything, that's like the most amusing thing I find. Fastball once again, strike 2. We can claim Kevin Durant. We can claim Roger Clemens. We also have Roger Clemens. We have Ricky Williams. We have Michael Thomas in the NFL. We have Vince Young, was a great college quarterback, but not so much in the NFL. 2-2 breaking ball. That one's pop up to text in shadow left field, and that's a base hit. So Sheng Hao-Wei gets on base. 2 consecutive singles for the Guardians. Game tying run now approaching the play. He's not quite there yet, but he's on deck. Yeah, Texas alumni. Kevin Durant for basketball. Baseball, Roger Clemens. Football, there's a bunch of football. Ricky Williams. Vince Young, Colt McCoy. And Michael Thomas. Michael Dixon, by the way, the best punter in the league right now, is also from Texas. But I've only like every piece of history about the University of Texas and the football team and all that. I learned that within the last 3.5 years. So like I don't have. I obviously have that rivalry feel against A&M Aggies, but it's not like it's not deeply rooted inside of me as many of my colleagues at the student television sports department. And I don't get the hate. Like a lot of my friends go to high school in Texas, and from my knowledge, it's like 50-50, right? Like most people are either Longhorn or Aggie around the state of Texas, or like people go to either people go to Texas or A&M or other like a large amount of high school students in Texas goes to either A&M or Texas, and so a lot of my friends here when like Texas screws up in a football game, like we lose to Maryland, that's a high fly ball to left field. That's going to be trouble, but no, it's caught by the left fielder Zhang Youming. Yeah, Lin Zhexuan coming off the bat was frustrated with the fly ball, but the way Zhang Youming was going back to catch it, it looked like it was going to be trouble. But Zhang Youming still make the catch nonetheless, and none of the runners advance either. Yeah, that was the breaking ball that's left to the middle of the plate, and Lin Zhexuan probably frustrated for himself that he could have put a better contact on it. Oh, Mo Bamba is also ours. Mo Bamba for the Orlando Magic. Jackson Hayes, I think, is at the New Orleans Pelicans right now. He's also our alumni. At the plate is catcher Dai Peifeng. He came in as a defensive substitution in the last inning. Now that's confirmed. Fastball inside part of the plate, ball 1. Dai Peifeng this week played in 2 games, has 5 plate appearances, only got 1 hit out of it, and that was a single. Ball 2, 150 kilometers per hour fastball. Oh, but Dai Peifeng did get struck out twice. I missed. I thought that was I thought he drew 2 walks. He struck out twice in the 5 at bats this week. The pitch, that one is fouled back to the third base side. Another 150 kilometers per hour fastball. Because we use the metric system. Making sure the theme is making sure that the whole thing has a common theme from the beginning to the end. Urban Hermit says Chicago dogs have all-you-can-eat dog specials on Wednesdays and discount beers on Thursdays. That sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely amazing. I'm so hungry right now. I want some food. I don't think I have anything in my fridge. Oh, no, I can make ham and cheese sandwiches. I don't really make the ham and cheese sandwiches because I don't make the ham, I don't make the cheese. I go buy them and I put them together. But sometimes a ham and cheese sandwich late at night is pretty clutch. Very clutch. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, men on first and second. Then that one is popped up to shallow center field. Chen Pingjie makes the catch. And that is it for the bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the 9th we go. 2 hits, but no runs scored after 2 flyouts and 1 pop-out. We head to the top of the 9th inning. The score remains 6-2. If any of y'all have an update on the other game, that would be magnificent. I don't have frozen dumplings today. Mike says that if Wei-Chen wins, frozen dumplings is the way to go. I don't have frozen dumplings today. My roommate finished the last ones of them. Urban Hermit says the Brooklyn Cyclones have a ballpark knish. Knish? It's a potato knish. You have to get one early because they sell out by the 3rd. What's a knish? I need to Google that. Knish or niche. 6-3 brothers. So for the other game, it's a snack food. Jewish snack food consists of filling covered with dough that is typically baked or sometimes deep fried. It looks good. Zhang Ruiling will be pitching for the Guardians. He only has 0.2 of an inning pitched so far this year. He's the submariner from the left side. He was a hitter and then converted. He was a hitter converted pitcher. That being said, despite being a lefty submariner, he'll be facing 2 righties and a switch hitter in Zheng Taorong, Wu Dongrong, and Herrera. Also Herrera. 0-2 the count. That one is ball outside. 1-2. Junichi Tozawa might be. It depends, depending on what strategy the Dragons coaches and managers decide. But if they put in Junichi Tozawa, he will have a chance to redeem himself after struggling against the Monkeys on Thursday. The slider is off the mark. Quite a bit off. Just a little bit off. That one is popped up to right field. That one is going really far, and it hits the wall, and that will be an extra base hit. Zheng Taorong stops at second base. Sheng Haowei finally gets the ball in, and that's a lead double. At first, it didn't look like the contact, based on contact, didn't look like it was going to fly that far, based at least on my screen. But with the exit velocity of 156, that one looked like it was going to be trouble when we saw Sheng Haowei going back and back and back until he reaches the wall. Now, man on second with Wu Dongrong at the plate. This is his first plate appearance. He pinch ran for third baseman Liu Jihong in the seventh inning. First is a strike. Wu Dongrong this week played in 2 games, had 4 at-bats. He had 1 base hit in those 4, but did draw 3 walks. My mistake. That one is a grounder to third. It will be trouble. Ye Zhuxian with the scoop, throws to first, and he gets Wu Dongrong at first base. Great play. But Zheng Taorong goes to third on that play. So at the very least, Wu Dongrong did manage to advance the runner, and now Zheng Taorong is 90 feet away. Coming up is 4-5-6, Rosal Herrera, Chen Pingjie, and Jiang Shaohong. Now Herrera is 2 for 4 with 2 flyouts, 1 base hit in the second, and a double in the seventh. Also came in to score the Dragons so far. Second at bat on hitting from the right side for Rosal Herrera. And the Guardians infield is playing in to try to cut the runner at home. Fast slider in the zone. Good movement on that breaking ball as well from the Submariner coming from the left side of the mound. Fastball, called ball 2. It's pretty close call. I think Zhang Ruiling on the mound is the only Submariner from Submarine lefty pitcher. The other 2 that had a sidearm action in the league, both are from the Monkeys. One is Huang Zipeng, number 69, and one is Zhang Xikai. That pitch is ball outside part of the plate. So Herrera reaches base for the 3rd time tonight. And now man on the corners. Now brings in center fielder Chen Pingjie, who will be the first lefty that Zhang Ruiling will face in this game. Herrera showing great discipline right there. I mean, a guy with MLB experience had 3-figure at-bats in the major leagues, has seen almost everything. Showing you right there that he's, has that experience against even a lefty Submariner, which is quite rare, not just in the CPBL, but now in the MLB as well. But it looked like Rosal Herrera kind of came in with a plan with from experience before, but I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. Pinch runner for the Weichuan Dragons. I forgot. I forgot. I did not see who it was. Yeah, Michael says that sidearm and summary pitchers are kind of rare here, and I think it got like the rare like it's a lot less common nowadays because pitchers want to throw 100 miles per hour. You can't throw 100 miles per hour with the sidearm, and especially with the new way of hitting, that kind of like as A-Rod would say, like a Ferris wheel approach. Submarine pitchers, the way that it approaches the plate, it probably doesn't do really well with the new swing path. So I can see why they're getting rarer and rarer, rarer and rarer, rarer and rarer. Rare and rear are two of the most difficult words to pronounce ever. The rear and the rare. And then with the rare, you have the rarer. That one is popped up. Michael says it feels like it's less taxing on the arm. I think so. I mean, like it's definitely different muscles. Like it's putting a different strain on your arm than the normal way of throwing. Actually, I was a decent thrower sidearm wise. I found it easier to like put my entire body into the throw as a submariner. When I throw sidearm, I wasn't a submarine pitcher. But like when I was like in like a freshman year of high school, and I was thrown into the pitching spot, and I struggled. I was terrible. I was a terrible pitcher. I did try to pitch sidearm for one game because like days before that, when I was practicing, like I realized like it just I like we found out that like I was doing okay. I was doing a little bit better throwing sidearm, so we actually tried that in the game, and didn't work out. Yeah, I think by the like, yeah, I think it could put more strain on the arm, but it's definitely putting a strain on a different part, like different ligament, than your normal. I would say than the normal motion. Sorry about that. Knocked off my microphone once again. Slider outside, ball 2. Now for Zhang Ruiling, a grounder, a double play would be ideal. Any possibility to prevent another run from scoring would be the best, obviously. But a 4-run lead and 5-run lead just feels very different in the ninth. I said that about the third three-run deficit and 4-run deficit earlier, but now especially in the ninth, 4 runs you can make it up with a swing. 5 runs you can't. Yes, and I did realize that I basically said that giving up less. I didn't. Yeah, I realized that. Recognize it. Three two now. 1 out. Man on the corners. Chen Pingjie at the plate. Yeah, one is a blooper, this shallow center field, and that one's caught by second baseman. Second baseman would be Zhang Weien. Out number 2, and no run scored. And again, no run scored on that play. No advancement either. So the Guardians would take that. Jiang Shaohou Who's for 3 is coming up to the plate. Struck out in the 4th, grounded out to 3rd in the 5th, had a single in the 7th, but also had a sac bunt in the 2nd inning. Jesus. That one is a comebacker to the pitcher. John Railing with the stop, and underhand throws to first base. That is it for the top of the 9th. Despite having men on the corners with 1 out, John Railing gets out of this inning unscathed. Bottom of the inning we go, and the score is 6-2. Last chance for the Fubon Guardians to make a comeback. Bottom of the 9th inning, and let's see. I want to hear what y'all think. If the Dragons do come out with a win, who do you think will be the MVP? I can give you a couple options. Jake Bream will be a favorite. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, and 7 hits allowed. Kept the Guardians lineup in check. There's also Lee Kai-wei, who had a triple in the 3rd inning, and scored 2 runs for the Wei in the 3rd. Should be a good one too. Had a 2-run home run in the 6th inning that, made it. Went from a 3-2 game to a 5-2 game. Well, thanks for joining us, JR. Glad to have you listening. Hopefully, you can join us in the future as well. Shishang is a good one as well. Yeah, he had a home run in the 6th inning that was at this point the biggest game changer. Making it a 5-2 game rather than a 3-2 game. Junichi Tozawa on the mound for the Weichuan Dragons. 10 outings, 10 innings pitched, 5.40 ERA, but that's also now he'll be facing the 9-2 with Ye Zhuxuan and Zhuang Wei'en. Ye Zhuxuan is making his first plate appearance tonight after substituting Chen Kailun as the defensive replacement in the 8th, I believe. That's ball 2 outside part of the plate. Counts 2-0. Junichi Tozawa has been the closer for the Weichuan Dragons this year. That one is popped up to foul territory. Jiang Shaohong makes the catch. Out number. Now will be the top of the lineup. Li Zongxian and Zhuang Wei'en. Tozawa. He has 4 saves, but what has 1 blown save on the 8th. That would be Thursday. Came in and got 2 outs in a tied game, but gave up 4 straight base hits and was taken out of the game. He only given up 1 run on the mound, but then he came in 2 runs on the mound. He came in, brought it to the Dragons pitcher, and the Monkey scored a couple more runs, and those 2 runs counted under Shinichi Tozawa. So his ERA before Thursday was 2.16, and then after that game jumped to 6.0. Now he's at 5.40. That one is a change up down the zone, 1 and 2. Li Zhongxian's 0 for 4. Reached base twice, both on errors. The breaking ball is driven to left field. That will be trouble, but not so much, apparently. Caught by shortstop Shi Xiangyu, who went quite a long way to catch it. Had a little bit of that Derek Jeter diving into the stands feet. But Shi Xiangyu had to cover a lot of ground to make that catch. Zhuang Wei-en, also 0 for 4 at the plate. He scored the first run for the Guardians. He got on base with the fielder's choice, but grounded all to second base. Other than that particular plate appearance. Fastball in there, 150 kilometers per hour, which is around 93, 94 miles per hour. '92, '93, I think, is the best one. Pitch, breaking, change up down low in the dirt. That's a shiny helmet Zhuang Wei-en has. Probably a brand new one since he just got called up. But yeah, I love the shiny helmets. I think those are amazing. It also shows how much work the equipment staff had put in. Fastball in there, 2 and 2. The Dragons are 1 strike away from winning their second game of the week, improving themselves to 7-13. The pitch is swing and a miss. That's out number 27 for the Wei Chuan Dragons as they win this one with the score 6-2, a 3 up, 3 down for Junichi Tozawa and the Wei Chuan Dragons. And that is it for you today. Game time is around 3 hours and 15 minutes. Oh wow, they're cutting to the game graphic. That's not good. That's not good for my CVPL recap. Is they cut straight to the graphic. But the Witcher Dragons win this one with the score 6-2. Jake Bream is the winning pitcher. He threw 7 innings, allowing 7 hits, and allowing just 1 earned run. 7 hits, and Jiang Guohao will take the loss for the Fubon Guardians. 4.1 innings pitched, 8 allowed, and 3 earned runs season debut. But really, the Dragons won the game in the later innings after Jiang Guohao was taken off the mound. The 2-run home run by Shi Xiangyu in the 6th inning kind of dictated the momentum for the rest of the game as the Guardians offense reached scoring position twice since Shi Xiangyu's 2-run home run, but really it did not make a lot of noise. Did not make a lot of noises after that. And Dragons also piled on with the RBI single in the 7th inning to extend the lead to 6-2. Junichi Tozawa comes in the 9th inning to get the 3 up, 3 down and finishes the ball game as the Dragons win their second game of the week, improving to 7-13. Depending on the Brothers and Lions game, the Guardians might have given up the top spot in the CPBL standings. But that is only if the brothers win their game in Taichung Intercontinental Stadium. Thank you guys for joining. That is it from me. You guys are awesome. You guys have been doing a lot of great. Thank you for interacting with me throughout this whole thing. Yeah, it's been a really fun. It's been really fun doing this with you guys for the last 3 hours. Next week we'll be coming back as well, if not for any big weird stuff that happens. I'll do a personal plug right here. I have I'm a senior in college, and we have to write a senior thesis, and we will have our thesis symposium in Central Time. Will be Friday at 3:50 p.m. That's when my group will be presenting. I think I'm the last to present too, so I'll be around probably 4:30ish p.m. CT, which is bad timing for town. That was in Asia, but pretty good. If you guys will be able to join, my thesis is on social media in sports, and I'm analyzing the social media accounts of 3 different Major League Baseball teams. I'll be putting more information on my timeline in the very near future. But if you welcome all of you guys to join the symposium. And by that being said, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. I had a blast. Hopefully we'll see you guys again next week.